initiate because I'm fucking dumb. Okay.
Was that intended to be sung like the Sailor Moon intro, or was that just a happy
Sailor
accident?
Moon, I am dead. Okay. Oh, Black Cat's got an anti-venom suit. Why not? Okay, did I use the right email? Haha, I did. Oh my god.
I was gonna say Star Wars will install eventually. Once you can even get into your Origin account.
We'll get there. I hate Origin. Like, so much.
Origin is a.
Like, I know it's like choose a more suck my dick. Oh my god. But then the problem whatever. I hate this when it's like use this super secure and then it's like all the Google gibberish.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's like
Well, I know.
you'll never remember it. So every single time I have to reset the password because
Bagel with. Well, that's a classy way to start it. Only first class here, Bagel.
I didn't even realize anyone joined. Whoops. The problem is when I'm talking to Ramble, I am forgetting that
No filter.
that we're not just in our house and it's not just me.
No, see, what I hate is that with Origin and Uplay and all of those things, it's like I wouldn't mind being forced to use their like launchers if their launchers were well built. But the problem is that they've built like really garbage launchers.
Yeah.
And then you get routed through them, and they either take up tons of CPU power, or they don't minimize properly, or they crash, which crashes the game. And it's like, why are you being forced to use these things? They're like I get it, they want their piece of the action as far as having a platform, but it's like, if you're not going to build it right, don't do it. Like, just don't have one. And that's the problem with Bethesda's is by far and away the worst launcher of the bunch. That's why they don't even make you use it for any of their older stuff.
Like, we're sorry.
Oh, like I think sadly enough, the only one of their games that actually uses the Bethesda launcher is Fallout 76.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, and all the other ones you can like choose to launch stuff from their launcher, but you don't have to. And it's like, yeah, if I'm given the option, I'm not going to.
Okay, let's fight this guy and not have it go well. Oh, I
I was gonna say, I love losing to another Vagabond's Blue Eyes deck, and it being like, would you like to look at their deck? It's like, no, I don't need to. I've seen this exact carbon copy deck exactly a million times. They have a playset of Blue Eyes. They have a bunch of the cards that came in the new structure deck. No, I'm good.
All right, so Star Wars Battlefront 2, because I planned this out so well. I could have done this. Oh, we took a nap earlier. And this is your dimension. It's gonna be ready in a nice hour and 15 minutes.
Nice. Until then, Duel Links. Until then, more Yu-Gi-Oh! Ha! Sucked you in with the Star Wars chat, kept you here because still Duel Links.
I don't think I have any actual, like, anything else. Steam. Star?
No, I think I tried to get you to install the Old Republic, but I don't think that you wanted to, because at the time we were trying to get you acclimated to Lord of the Rings Online.
Oh, is that the Mormork?
The Mamorpager? Yes, it is the Star Wars Mamorpager. Yeah, we'll also wait for more people to arrive before we start getting into the meat of the Star Wars discussion for today. Because I think we'll just leisurely walk through the historic wreckage that is the Star Wars Skywalker saga. And good game.
I want the Lego.
You want what Lego?
The Star Wars Lego.
Oh, see, that's the weird thing is.
Coming soon, but it says it's coming in 2020. You lie.
Axel, the radiance is upsetting me, so hello. Over 9,000 here. All right, you want to kill blue? Blue here. Use the vents. Yeah.
What's going on? We've been.
Oh, just people in chat. We've got folks in chat.
Hi everyone. The radiance is upsetting me, so hello. What radiance? I have the Sailor Moon theme song in my head.
Let's battle.
There are worse things to have stuck in your head.
White dragon.
I want the dog song.
Lightning.
Do I not get multiples anymore?
I end my turn.
I found a great song on Reddit called the Stepdog song, and that's all I've been singing.
I draw.
All day. Literally all day, guys.
And Ramble was napping, and I was listening to it a lot, and apparently it came into his dreams.
Got my dreams.
Got a stepdog. What a... I thought it stopped at 562%. I was like, what a very specific number.
Axel saying you're a bit low today. Can barely hear.
Me?
Yeah.
You
Might need to have your mic closer to your mouth or something. Wait, why is there a channel point option for now cursing?
I don't even remember what my channel point options were. I went through and added a bunch of them. Yeah, no cursing is one. Why am I quiet?
Don't know.
I didn't mess with any settings. Is it better if I move the mic? Did that help? Yeah, I added rewards. So I did like check, drink water. I just added the fun ones that were showing up from Twitch. No cursing. I think that one's for a few minutes. Pick a game. That's, I mean, assuming I have the game. Highlight my message. Choose an emote. Modify an emote. I don't know. I added them. I'm new. We don't know what we're doing. It's great. Dork, like, because my volume's as loud on my mic as possible. Settings?
Yeah, just keep giving her mic feedback, guys, until she can shake out any of the issues.
Ooh, now that muted me. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I did add a mute emote. I don't know if it's any good, but I made a mute emote.
Over 9,000 says swear of the day is better than no cursing. Wants to be able to pick which bomb you drop.
That's not a terrible idea, to be honest.
It's better. I'm probably just deaf. Well, that's not good, Axe. Feels like something you should get checked out.
Anyone else am I quiet? It's just showing me as I normally like on the...
Yeah, Bagel 9,000. Is she coming through muffled or quiet to you guys too? Figure out these audio issues if they do indeed exist.
Over 9,000, I'll figure out how to add a swear of the day if I can do that. I'll have to... TOS is weird. Got a stepdog. Sorry.
Like, it's fine. It's just a very bizarre song to get hooked on.
I was dumb. I could have did that.
9,000 says that you're definitely a bit quieter than me.
Why am I quieter? What if I make you quieter and everyone just turns this up?
I mean, I guess that's an option.
Okay, let's make you both. How's that? Say something. You're not saying anything. Ramble?
Oh, wow. So my sensitivity is really high.
What?
Maybe I gotta move it away from my mouth a bit.
I'd upper but like my volume's as loud as it goes on the mixer.
I was gonna say,
I'm turning you down.
Apologies if mine was really loud. I was talking strategy with people about Hearts of Iron last night, and it got intense. So very, very.
I
intense.
turned him down, and so let me know if we're about even, and then you could just turn the computer volume up. I don't know, or is it that? Is it? I don't know. Everything else should be. I'm not good at this. Okay. Activate skill. Okay. Let's check where we're in. Origin. Origin is the worst. All right, 41 minutes, which is good because it's only been 10 minutes, so it did go down. Got a step dog. Can I activate the skill again?
In the same turn?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Wouldn't that be funny? Because it's
You might be able to activate. I think you can activate both in the same turn, but I don't think you can like do 5 times the damage and then 5 times the damage
Wouldn't
again.
that be fun though?
I mean, yes, but it would also mean that you would probably be able to win considerably easier.
Exactly.
Oh, that's what you meant by fun. Hey, Pet Koga,
Hello.
welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks for coming out, friendos. We'll make it Star Warsy eventually.
But for now, Duel Links.
Gotta
Yeah, for anyone who wasn't around yesterday, we got into a side tangent about Star Wars, and it seemed like chat was really on board for that. So, as per the new free game with Epic this week, we're getting Dorkiness to install Battlefront 2, and then we're gonna chat a bit about Star Wars.
Hi, Val.
Hey, Val.
Thanks
That was
for coming
crazy.
out.
We
We're
saw
in
it.
sync.
Whoa.
Also, you guys would be really happy to know that we had a poutine yesterday, or this afternoon. I can't talk. We got poutine.
We only talk about poutine a lot of the time on stream.
We
so.
are Canadian.
I end my turn.
We are Canadian.
We are eating healthy sometimes.
I got my smoothies.
That's true.
I'm gonna activate this.
Very, very true.
What's this? Doing all right today. We are doing great. Got poutine this afternoon. Ramble took a nice nap. Ending
An
the
Igami event, yeah. I mean, it keeps changing, so might as well just keep farming stuff on it, right?
What is happening? Oh my god, my computer's opening Battlefront. Why did this happen?
Wouldn't it be great if they made a new trilogy that takes place after the original?
Stop! Why is it opening this? Oh my god. Oh god, oh god, oh god, help.
Because yeah, we'll don't worry. We plan to have a discussion. We're not getting into the real meat of it just yet because we're gonna see if we can get some more people hopping on. But I completely agree. The sequel trilogy was an unnecessary diversion that ended up doing more damage than good.
It's a shame it never happened.
Yep.
This is where I'd put my sequel trilogy if I had one.
If they'd make it, but they haven't. They never have. It's never a thing they made it. They never made it.
You know what sucks though? I actually like Adam Driver as the bad guy. Like, I think I like him as Kylo Ren. I think he had a lot of potential. I think he's a good actor. I think he gets it. He does a great job of an emo kid. And
No, I think the biggest downside is quite honestly, I think the biggest downside is just that they gave him a cool helmet and a cool voice change, and then they immediately took it away.
When we were
Nothing
in the
against-
theater, so there, I hate when people say this is a rumor because this actually happened. Because there's like that rumor that in the theater when he took his helmet off, people laughed, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's a rumor." I was like, "That was not a rumor because we fucking laughed when we were in the theater, and the theater laughed."
It happened. We went to a midnight screening on opening day in Toronto, and there was laughter in the theater when he removed his mask, like full stop. So, can confirm bad move having
I
him
just think
remove
people are
his
like, "Oh,
mask.
that's an urban lie. Like that's a myth. Everyone says that to make fun of the movie." And I'm like, "I was fucking there."
It's not so fake.
When our car broke down on the way to the theater.
Yeah, that was an unexpected version as well.
Oh, I didn't finish my sheet yesterday. Shit. I gotta do 3 ranked duels. All right, guys. This is gonna be bad, but we gotta go. We gotta do it. I'm gonna change my deck.
Yeah, show of hands from chat. Who hates going into ranked duels right now? That's that. If you couldn't hear, that was me raising my hand.
I like that you actually raised your hand.
Because you can only play so many Blue Eyes White Dragon decks before it gets out of hand.
All right, guys, we're going in as Taya. Things I never thought I'd say. Okay, so, what is chat saying? Taking the opportunity to level up characters with EXP 1.5. What's that? EXP 1.5? Is that different?
There's bonus XP right now.
Really?
You've been seeing it. You've been seeing it when you're completing stuff. Like when you get the points at the end, that you're getting bonus experience when you do the event stuff.
I'm so bad at this.
It's not like you haven't been taking advantage.
Yeah,
of it.
I
You've been
guess
doing
I've
the event,
inadvertently
you just haven't been
taking
noticing.
advantage of it, which was kind of funny. I have nothing against any of the actors or the visuals. No, like that's even when we. Oh my god, my foot's asleep. When we get into like The Last Jedi, which I'm sure we will at some point. Like that movie is beautiful. Like it just, it's it. But
It's
looks
all style, no substance.
It looks gorgeous. I'm glad Luke Skywalker remained the pinnacle of hope for all of Star Wars and never tried to kill his nephew or anything ridiculous.
Yeah, spoiler alert on that one, but yeah, no. Turns out Luke Skywalker, that really cool character who was our protagonist, turns out kind of an asshole. But yeah, we'll get there. Because oh man, and they've tried so hard through the comic books and stuff to try and justify like why he did it, and it's just like just give it up. Nobody's buying it. It was a poor decision for the turn for your character.
My foot is
Doesn't
so
make it.
asleep.
Doesn't make any sense in universe. Doesn't make any sense in your expanded universe. It just doesn't make sense. So.
Oh my god. Oh my god, my foot. I gotta watch a street replay.
I was gonna say, why? How does your leg and foot keep falling asleep?
Cause I sit cross-legged. Cause I'm an idiot.
Ah, well, as long as we know the cause.
And cause I already have the messed up back, so I'm assuming that's like there's poor circulation in my legs to do with that. We'll blame that. That's why people
Sounds as reasonable as anything else.
People with bad backs have really itchy legs.
Val says it's not too bad down in rookie/bronze. See, I disagree, Val, because if you look at my win-loss right now, I have lost, I think, 9 matches consecutively. Every single one of them was against a Blue Eyes deck. And it was all at rookie 3, bronze 1.
The bright side is for the bingo sheet, I only have to play 3 matches. I don't have to win.
Yeah, but you can't surrender, so...
Yeah. Oof, Twitch
That's
keeps buffering today. No, Twitch, don't do that. Bad Twitch.
Come on, Twitch, work with us. Twitch are fans of the new trilogy. They're throttling your stream.
Oh my gosh.
Anyone remember old expanded universe Luke, like just overpowered as hell and amazing? Yeah, over 9,000. Yeah, I do remember that Luke, and he was awesome. He was legitimately a badass. Came across like a wizened sage Jedi who. If you guys, I don't know if anybody read the Fate of the Jedi series, but it was a very good series about like Luke kind of gallivanting about the galaxy, chasing down a deep ancient threat. It had a kind of it leaned into a Lovecraftian vibe by the end because of Aboleth, but it was really, really cool. And Luke Skywalker came across as powerful, but not like all-knowing. It was really good. And then yeah, when Disney rendered all of that stuff Star Wars Legends instead of canon, and they're like, no, we're gonna make it so that he runs into one crisis of conscience and proceeds to try to kill a family member and then fucks off to the middle of nowhere for years.
Who hasn't tried to kill a family member? Oh, just okay.
Doran Martell, 1867. I love the idea of Lovecraft Star Wars. There's some pretty messed up stuff if you really dig into the the background expanded universe, especially pre-Disney. There's some really messed up stuff that I think you'd like, Doran.
Doran, do we know you? Are you who I think you are? I feel like I know who you are. Not that that's a bad thing. Anyway, continue. Sorry, Ramble. Yes, hi guys.
Yeah, no, I know who Doran is.
Okay,
Too,
I had a moment. I was like, wait. Thanks for joining. Anyway, sorry, as you're saying, Ramble.
The Yuzum Vong, or however it's spelled, that could have been some damn good sequel shit and real reason for Rey and Kylo. Yeah, see, over 9,000, I think that's exactly it. I think that's exactly it, is that they had so much expanded universe to pull on, and they scrapped it all in favor of trying to write it themselves, and I feel like halfway through the script for the sequel trilogy, they, like, all looked at each other, like, locked eyes across the table, and were just like, we're not good at this. This is hard.
Didn't
And then they
what's
just, like, shit out a story, and we're like, hopefully that's good enough. And all of the fans were like, why'd you delete good stuff for this?
I love when was it Kathleen Kennedy, and she was like, "Oh, there's no books to reference," and everyone's like,
Yeah, she was Kathleen
"Books!"
Kennedy. Yeah, she said something stupid to the tune of like, there's no reference material, there's no script for this, like there's nothing to reference. And all of the Star Wars fans just like face palmed and then gestured at their like bloated bookshelves of expanded universe and are just like, like there've literally been people writing stuff for this forever. Axel says it's great, and I won't be talking as much since I'm being bullied on Hollow Knight.
Oh no! I've
Oh
never played
no.
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight's really good though, so I mean, enjoy. But yeah, no, to Doran's
We missed
Doran's
you too, Doran.
point about yeah, miss you too, Doran, and also like with Lovecraft Star Wars, just a couple things to like Fate of the Jedi is a really good series if you guys like the sound of a like kind of deeper, lingering terror. There's also one that's called, the book is called Death Trooper. It has nothing to do with the Death Troopers from like Rogue One. It's actually a story about an Imperial bioweapon getting out of control, and it was published during the zombie craze that happened in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, and
That was weird.
it's about like an Imperial bioweapon that reanimates dead corpses, and the characters in the story are basically in like a zombie survival story, but in space, and it's like really kind of neat the way that the story rolls out from there. The YouTuber Eckhart's Ladder actually has a really good video, which is like the most disconcerting or frightening things that exist in the Star Wars expanded universe. Check it out, because some of this stuff is messed up. Like, it's really cool, but it's really messed up. Over 9,000, no reference materials. If you dropped one copy of every EU content on her at once, she'd be a damn pancake. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they've done zombies two different ways in canon Star Wars Clone Wars TV show. Yeah, so that, and the only difference I think over 9,000 is that Death Trooper as a book, it's written as a horror book, so it's not, it feels ever so slightly removed from Star Wars because it's not, it doesn't incorporate a lot of the flashy background of like there's, you know, a fight of good versus evil or whatever going, like it's got a lot more of like a horror line to it. But no, like zombies in Star Wars, it's one of the least far-fetched horror elements they can weave into it, right? Because zombies existing, it's like, I mean, if you're in a future where faster than light travel is a thing, intergalactic, you know, empires spanning multiple systems, you've got, you know, laser weapons that can disintegrate people on contact. I mean, zombies really isn't the craziest thing in the world, especially since now in the sequel trilogy, we've got the Emperor being literally a like reanimated corpse. So, I mean, we've got cloning in there now too. We've got, so like like there's tons of other like sciency biological rigmarole, so like why not zombies, right?
You so like your hand to the graveyard, you draw on this person graveyard. No, I don't want to send this. I don't want to send anything to the graveyard. Okay, so no, we're gonna, and then I'm going to activate this effect. Sorry, sorry, keep going.
No, I'm totally fine. You're plugging away through Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's really what this is all about.
What's this?
But yeah, I don't know how familiar chat is with Star Wars Expanded Universe. But I definitely recommend giving it a look through.
Oh, I gave him more life. How did I? What did I just?
Over 9,000. I mean, it's a
What?
different galaxy. Don't even necessarily match us physiologically, and there's a
What?
ton of alien biology. Zombies aren't crazy in a galaxy like that. Yeah, exactly. Over 9,000. So you get it.
What? I sent
What
it
are you
to...
what? I was gonna say, what are you whatting about?
I don't know what I just did. I misread the effect. I thought this would get an extra 1,000 attack if I sent it to the graveyard. But then, because I changed it to... I don't know what I just did. At all.
Chat, I was not watching, so
No,
if
it
you have
doesn't
any
matter
idea what
because
occurred,
I just want this to end now, but... Because that would have got an extra 1,000, I would have took that guy out, and then I thought I was chaining... Okay, sorry.
Valtiel, I picked up that new novel about the High Republic that just came out, but haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. Yeah, Val, actually, so I'm in a weird place with High Republic because High Republic comes across very much like they wanted to do Old Republic, but once again they looked at the Old Republic playbook and were like, we don't want to just rewrite these stories, we'll come up with something new. So I'm really worried that they're going to come at it and it's going to be like a Coke Zero version of Old Republic, and I don't like that. Dorian, yeah, I feel like if you've got a galaxy with worth of biodiversity, then everything's not only possible but likely even. Yeah, it's exactly, Dorian. Over 9,000, just slam the Dark Magician, it wins instantly if I'm led to believe the Yu-Gi-Oh show. Yeah, over 9,000, right? You just play Dark Magician and win. You play Dark Magician and win. Or you top deck Exodia.
I didn't read the card right.
Bagel says Old Republic, Best Republic. Yeah, Old Republic
Which
is
sucks,
pretty
fucking
impressive
damn.
writing. If you haven't played Knights of the Old Republic, pick it up. It's like $12 or something on Steam. And it's old BioWare, so it's like back when, if you remember back in days of yore when Dragon Age was a good game, or Mass Effect was a good game, it's like better BioWare than that. So yeah, over 9,000. So over 9,000. Do you play Star Wars: The Old Republic, like the MMO? Because some of the really cool story elements that they've built into that are awesome, and it would be really cool if they, you know, use some of it instead of trying to write their own stuff and just doing pale imitations. No, you just look up storylines. That's fine. I mean, getting into an MMO is a pretty big ask. Oh.
Dumbass. Okay. I'm not playing well today, guys. Oh my god.
It's fine. To be honest, when I play ranked, if I see them like start dropping blue eyes combos, I literally play the thing with the least attack in my deck, and I just attack their monsters to end it quicker. It's like I'm not here to watch the 50th blue eyes deck that I've been up against today, like just like wombo combo out of the gate.
Effect. If it's so, you can summon one like carry into the graveyard. You do draw one card. No, I'm not gonna do it. Okay. Now I can fusion, activate effect. I got lucky there, guys. Sorry. Anyways, continue.
Oh, it's your stream. We're all here to watch you kick some
we're
ass
here
at
to listen to
Yu-Gi-Oh.
you talk about Star Wars.
Val says you
Thank
got
you.
this. Val's got your back. You can do it. Me, chat, we all believe in you.
I don't know why. What is the effect? I need to know what the effect is. Help! What's the effect?
Emerald Bird is on the left-hand side of your screen, so you should be able to read the effect.
In graveyard. What's the effect in graveyard? Oh my god. If the card is in the graveyard, you can target one of your level 4 in the banished or in your graveyard. Yes! Oh my god.
Doran says you got this. Heart of the cards.
Heart of the cards. Oh my god. Confirm. I don't know what I just did. Okay, I'm literally pressing buttons. I have so little time. Battle. Okay, got it. Yeah. It's like doing the countdown. I'm like, what's happening? Sorry. After this fight, I'm going to see if I can get Star Wars going, and we'll just exclusively talk Star Wars.
Yeah, also, if people haven't played Battlefront 2, be on Epic Games Store right now. A lot of fun. It's one of those games that kind of died out of the gate because EA is a mess right now. or was a mess back then too, I guess. But then slowly but surely they rolled out a bunch of like updates and additional content and stuff for it, and it gradually became better and better until the point where it's actually pretty fun, which is wild to think, because EA is not really that well known these days for maintaining consistent support for things when they stop being profitable. So it's kind of a nice surprise. But yeah, let's get started on a little bit of Star Warsy chitty chat. People in chat, favorite Star Wars film, if you have one, throw it down in chat. Bagel, EA Sports, it's in the game as paid DLC. That's absolutely right, Bagel. Man, if EA can charge for it, it's there. It's like Creative Assembly with the Total War games, where they sell you the game and then day one there's a blood and gore DLC pack that's like $2, and it adds like blood and gore to the game, but it costs like $2. Instead of having a little checkbox where you can turn it off and on, they're like, no, 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 we'll sell it separate because we gotta make that money. Bagel said episode 4, A New Hope's an easy one to like, and spoiler alert for chat, just so you know about a little bit more about dorkiness, she thinks Mark Hamill is cute in A New Hope.
In the first one, yeah.
She thinks Mark Hamill is more attractive than Harrison Ford in that movie. At least to her, by her standards.
I don't think I meant to do that.
So do with that what you like.
There is a delay.
I end my turn.
Haven't seen anything yet.
I don't know what I'm doing, but gotta do something. Got no time. Okay, what do you do as Colonel? You can do ready to draw one card.
He had nice feathery hair. He did have nice feathery hair.
Oh my god. Where'd my mouse go? Help! Why is this happening? Oh my god. Set.
I set a monster.
Jesus. No, I want it. I didn't want to do that. Whatever. Let's end this. Oh my god.
It never feels good to lose.
No, everybody, remember that ranked play is fun.
I hate ranked play. Okay, we're giving up, guys.
Doran, as a child, I remember loving Return of the Jedi, but I'm not sure I want to rewatch it as a grown-up. Yeah, unfortunately, the Ewoks beggar a lot of belief in Return of the Jedi. So it ages interestingly. The rest of the movie is pretty solid, especially I think the intro is really, really good. With Jabba's palace and everything, I think it really sets the tone for our like grimmer, more determined, more skillful Luke. I think that's a really good facet of Return. Val, if I had to pick one favorite, I guess it's Empire, but I could make arguments for Rogue One or Phantom Menace too. Val, I get where you're coming from, but Rogue One is the right answer. Follow your gut on that.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue One is an exceptional piece of Star Wars cinema, and I will fight anyone who says different. No, it's I get Empire. Empire is really solid. I think that Empire and Rogue One are my favorites for like the same reasons, and it's because Empire Strikes Back and Rogue One, they end up displaying less of a focus on like the minute like heroes who like change everyday events, and they instead become military dramas, like the Battle of Hoth playing out. You get to see face to face how the rebellion is faring against the Empire and how the war is actually going. You're not just following Luke. Like, yeah, Luke can take down an AT-AT, but if the Empire's attacking with like 12 AT-ATs, it doesn't really matter if you destroy one. And I think it sets an interesting oppressive tone, and it's the same sort of tone that's struck with Rogue One, is that instead of the rebellion being ace scrappy underdogs, you see them as what they are, which is kind of a cobbled together militia that's desperately trying to hold off a or strike blows against an established, regimented, well-trained, expert military force. And I think that's kind of the drama that people respond to better as far as like world building in Star Wars, because instead of getting the protagonist energy, Deus Ex Machina moments that save your protagonist, you have like an entire rebel base with shield generators and turrets, trench systems with, a speeder corps that's able to, fight like fast overland battles. You instead see all of that just crumble in front of the Empire, and they barely escape. Their big weapon, the ion cannon, barely has them escape, and that's so huge to setting the tone for Empire that they're on the run and they're scattering. They're not on the run together. They just kind of scatter to the winds and like try to pick up the pieces. And I think Rogue One does that really, really well, because Rogue One is about the rebellion, resistance forces trying to strike a desperate blow to give themselves even a chance of surviving. And I think that tension and those stakes really make the movies like more impactful. And it means that when the good guys win, it feels like an earned victory. You feel like you walked with them to that end. And then, yeah, as far as saying Phantom Menace, Val, I think Phantom Menace has a strange place in a lot of people's hearts.
Did my
For a
internet go down?
Sorry.
Did the internet go down? Sorry.
Believe it.
It wasn't.
No, I mean we're still on Discord. I don't know if Chuck.
Chat, can you hear us? Okay, perfect. Sorry, continue. Connection failed. I won. Cool. All right. I'll take it.
I was gonna say she just DDoSed him. Woo. But yeah, so I think as far as Phantom Menace was a bit of a mess, but in most of it was a fun mess. Yeah, see, I think that's right. Over 9,000. I think that's why everyone has a bit of difficulty when they remember it, because you remember Jar Jar Binks and you remember being like, yeah, that was really out of place, and I don't understand why we had to throw all of the comic relief on this vaguely racist caricature. But at the same time, if you're a kid watching it, you're not bringing any of that baggage with you, right? You're not sitting there in the theater going, man, do we really need to be talking about trade disputes? And we mentioned this a bit yesterday, where it's no child is sitting there on the edge of their seat wondering how the confidence vote in Chancellor Valorum's leadership is going to go, because they have no clue what the fuck that means. But every kid is sitting there on the edge of their seats during the final lightsaber battle because it's flashy, it's fast-paced, it's the most artistic lightsaber fighting we've ever seen in any of the Star Wars movies. And like even the ones that came afterwards with all the flips and jumps and the Yoda fight, everything, you don't get the same physicality that you do with Ray Park being, Darth Maul and, doing a lot more of the physical, like brutish Sith lightsaber fighting. And I think that was a big draw. Like kids remember that, it sticks with them. The music obviously helped. Over 9,000. If Jar Jar was a secret Sith and didn't make any stupid poop jokes, that would have been super. Yeah, and I don't know what the reliance on the poop jokes was. I feel like that was, again, I feel like it was written by two different people. One of them was like, I'm going to write high-handed, high-tier, high-concept political drama about a trade embargo on a like backwater but peaceful planet that has its own, social issues and civil unrest with the local indigenous population. And then there's this trade dispute is going to be brought to the highest to the highest galactic senate that it can be brought before them, and the queen's going to have to make her case about the treatment of her people. And then there will be political intrigue as Valorum has to follow the rules and red tape, but she wants fast satisfaction for her people, and so goes down the political dark side of unseating Valorum and putting in place someone who is far more self-serving. Again, though, what I just said to you guys, as an adult, I'm like, there's something here. It sounds boring as hell when I describe it that way still, because I don't like hearing people describe politics to me. But watching it happen could be cool if there's stakes, if you feel like the galaxy is lived in, if you feel like there are people with real lives that are being affected. But The problem is, instead end up with a 14-year-old queen. And yes, she's 14 years old. She's a democratically elected... We're going to get into this for a second. She is a democratically elected 14-year-old monarch. Sit with that for a minute. Think about that, because she's technically head of state and she makes a lot of the calls. So she's democratically elected but a teenager. Whatever. Anyway, she has her like council that helps her rule and all of that, and she represents her people at the Galactic Senate. Makes tons of sense. However, her being able to bring forward a motion that calls, question to the confidence of Chancellor Valorum's leadership gets a little dicey. Why would people vote with her? Well, we know now it's because they were under the influence of the Sith. But then we get to somehow in this Senate structure, she is allowed to, in the subsequent movies, delegate her authority of the position as the advocate for Naboo to Jar Jar Binks, who is not really a Gungan of any standing and was not democratically elected to rep the people. So at this point, you have somebody who is democratically elected able to delegate their position of authority to someone who was not. How does this government... And this is where the problem lies for adults. So even if you can get invested in the politics of Star Wars, and I agree, you guys are probably like, wow, this is boring stuff. Yes, and this is why it shouldn't have been in Star Wars. Because it's boring as sin, even when you dissect it from a point of being interested. But anyway, let's see here. Bagel, the point is conceded. Will you defer your motion and allow for an independent investigation of your claims? Yeah, exactly. That. And then Cosmos guy, I don't like good dialogue. It's coarse and rough and irritating and gets everywhere. That's a good reference, Cosmos. But yeah, it's exactly that, right? Like, good dialogue could maybe have saved it. You may have had to water down the political commentary a bit, but I don't think that's a bad thing in, like, a movie that's called Star Wars, not space politics, right? Doran says, I don't know. I absolutely remember being a child and wondering if the Trade Federation was a republic entity or a corporate conglomerate in long term. See, Doran, though, I don't know if this is just because I know you, but that doesn't surprise me that you would have fixated on that. But I can safely say, for most of chat and myself, when they started talking about the like Trade Federation's embargo on the like Naboo and doing like a boycott, and I had no clue what the hell that meant. And I was like, so what? Like, what does that mean? And now even when I'm an adult, I'm like, okay, so there's a trade embargo. What is Naboo export or import? Like, it's just, there are so many dull, uninteresting questions about it. And I don't think it gets more interesting when you flesh it out. I don't think knowing what the Naboo import or export makes it a better movie. And that's a problem, because that's the whole concept of the movie. The whole conceit is the Naboo are being held at gunpoint by the Trade Federation, and you're given no reason to understand why. Like, okay, so they've blockaded the Naboo. Why? Oh, because the Republic's going to send Jedi, and we're going to trap and kill the Jedi. Why? And, like, I get it, I guess. Maybe it's a big puppeteer thing of, like, we're going to lure the Jedi here so we can kill them off, and then that'll provoke the Naboo to, like, go and do this thing. And, like, maybe they won't get killed off, and they'll go and find the Chosen One, and the Chosen One will come. It's like, but this is so convoluted at this point. What is the end goal here? And if it's to find Anakin, none of the steps made by Sidious in the lead up to Anakin being found make any goddamn sense. And over 9,000. Yeah, the 14-year-old queen thing was stupid. Just as stupid as her, like, weird quasi-relationship with the 9-year-old slave kid, right? Like, Anakin being 9 years old, her being 14. Not a weird age gap once they're older, but kind of a little strange to be, like, building that right out of the, like, with the, like, are you an angel? And it's just like, wow, so slave kid thinks he has game, but that's a terrible pickup line. And it just comes down to the story of episode 1 can't can't carry all of the weight that it needs to, because so much of it, it's like, why does the Trade Federation have military grade and up to like high combat yield, like battle tanks and stuff? Why are they allowed to have this by the Galactic Senate? If they're a trade federation, they're registered somewhere. Why do they have? Anyway, I'm getting into too much of the minutia, and it's all really stuff. And I don't want to be as boring as episode 1. I'm here to entertain you guys. That's why I'm here. So by talking about episode 1, I'm putting myself to sleep, and that's because all of the space politics, all of the trade stuff, all of the everything that isn't visual is like crucifyingly boring. See, Cosmos, that's exactly what I was about to say. You're reading my mind, man. So, Cosmos, the pod racing was dope, and that's because you don't got to think about it. It's like, it's what is pod racing? If you had to explain it to a person in a very short sentence, drag racing in space, it's rocket racing, done. And it was like, yeah, it was half an hour of the movie, so it probably could have been dialed back a little bit, but I I don't know. When I rewatch episode, yeah, flying NASCAR. There you go, Cosmos guy. You got it in 2 words. 2 words. Fantastic. And it's because that's what it is. That's why people like when I go back and watch Phantom Menace, I'm not sitting there like, oh, babe, and I'm like tapping Dorkiness's shoulder, and I'm like, no, just wait. They're about to unseat Chancellor Valorum, and now there's going to be a new Chancellor of the Galactic Senate. Oh yeah! Like I'm sitting there being like, oh sweet, we get pod racing, which is basically just big crashes, boom, explosions, Tusken Raiders shooting at them while they're racing. Like you don't have to think about it. You can kind of put your mind on autopilot for the pod racing bits and just be like, yep, this 9-year-old can drag race with all these other people, and it's just a high intensity, high octane sport. I don't care. Show me the flashy stuff. And they show you the flashy stuff. The CG hasn't aged well, but it's just mindless fun, right? Over 9,000. I mean, the Trade Federation having droids and armies and stuff makes sense with all the sketchy Outer Rim stuff and having to protect assets from the Hutts and other gangsters. Yeah, see, and I kind of get that over 9,000, but the movie doesn't really present it as anything like, and it can't really delve into it because it already does too much boring stuff, and so you can't really double down on the boring and keep the kids interested. But no, I know the history of the
The
Trade Federation.
Utes.
I know that their military assets make sense. It's just in the scope of the movie, it's like, why are you using them to conquer Naboo? Like, what does this get you other than trouble at the Senate? And then now you're in a bad spot because you followed a Sith Lord who told you to just conquer this planet. Like, just there's a lot of very strange. And I know it was like, oh, we're gonna get the Queen so that the Queen can be brought to the Senate, and so we can force her to vote me into power, and then that way I can just usurp power that way. But it's all very disjointed, and it's all very strange when you don't have a lot of galaxy building behind it. Bagel, they blockaded the planet due to a trade dispute. Wasn't it about how they were conducting business without paying the appropriate tax? See, I don't know, Bagel, and honestly, I don't care. It's like the movie has me at such a point of exhaustion just trying to remember it that I'm like, doesn't matter. I don't. I as somebody who loves Star Wars, there are so many other things that I find more interesting than the state and nature of the trade dispute with the Naboo. I just don't care. I mean, Naboo is basically space, yeah, with a bit of space Italy thrown in because they got the weird I think a lot of the structures actually, if you look into the behind the scenes stuff, I think they took a lot of inspiration from like Venice and places like that for like the buildings and the structures and like the roofing and stuff like that. But Cuba, very similar. It's basically any city or large like metropolis that's situated near bodies of water. Like it's very much the same thing. And Bagel, so the Republic enacted new bills to force taxation on them despite dealing in the free trade zones. So the trade federation at a blockade Naboo is one of the mid-rim world. Yeah, but it's see, like, I appreciate the flavor, Bagel, but I don't care. Like, that's so much nothing that I need to know to understand why things are happening.
I'm
I
trying
mean, to
to
be
make
fair,
Battlefront show up, and it is not working well.
just keep at it. I mean, to be fair, pretty sure Space Cuba is going to be a fair bit more advanced than regular Cuba. Yeah, that's not. I mean, we did get Space Monaco in Last Jedi though, so remember that. Yeah, Dorian, I don't think you were around last night when we were talking about favorite characters. Qui-Gon Jinn was one of the ones that came up where, like, we were trying to think of people whose favorite character was Qui-Gon and why he was such an interesting Jedi. Because he's, like, one of the only middle ground Jedi that's still held in, like, high esteem, really. And the expanded universe gives the other Jedi Masters a bit more wiggle room as far as their personalities, but Qui-Gon's really the only one that we got to know on the live action big screen. But very, very fascinating. Yeah, nailed the line between Space Priest and Space Paladin. Yeah, and he's like working for the moral good, but he's not, you know, he's not overzealous in that pursuit, and I think that's what made him more relatable. Cosmos Guy, just like Darth Maul's Donatello stick. Yeah. His double-bladed lightsaber was really cool, and everyone lost their shit when that was first up on screen. People were like, that's dope. That is, because it was new. It was something we hadn't seen before, and it was neat. And I feel like they were expecting people to have the same reaction when they showed Kylo Ren's lightsaber, but there just wasn't that. A lot of people had a lot of questions about how it worked, why it looked the way it did. Wouldn't that be a less practical way to have a lightsaber built? And eventually we got a bunch of flavor on like why it is the way it is and everything. But we didn't really get enough for my liking, and unless you go into the expanded universe again or the comic books. But Bagel, well, it was away by Palpatine, force a vote of no confidence. Yeah. Bagel, like, you're trying real hard, and I appreciate it, but I just don't think you're gonna make me care about space politics unless it's something that's set up as like a main point of like contention and you know, a main point of like, you know, suspense. I wasn't in suspense about the space politics. I was busy trying to figure it out.
Over 9,000. If you buy me a computer, then that'll be great. But until then, we're using what I'm using.
Over 9,000. I wish they didn't. Yeah, so spoiler alert on over 9,000 statement there, but Darth Maul killed off in Rebels.
Why did it do squad?
F's in chat because he was really cool, and I thought that the way they killed him off was kind of disappointing. It was like really kind of, it was really kind of like low tier. I was expecting more, especially because he had his robo legs and. Oh, well, that's probably why your frame rate's suffering. You're still downloading, right?
Yeah, I was hoping I could do something, but I'm giving up. No, it won't. But it won't properly. It won't properly frame it in the window like the Yu-Gi-Oh was, and I'm getting really annoyed.
Oh, yeah. So, no, if you've got the download running in the background, it's gonna.
I know
Valid, Bagel.
that
Thank you for the apps. Yeah. So I think that episode 1, just to sort of tie that one off in a bow, I think that episode 1 is remembered fondly, but I think Ray Park, Cosmos Guy, absolutely. Dorkiness loves Ray Park. Thinks that he was an exceptional choice, and actually, she was delighted when she learned about the expanded universe stuff where Paul was still alive, because she was like, good, because like he was such a cool character that needed more to do. But yeah, I think episode 1 just it is what it is. You can't really it doesn't have the ability to be redone. It doesn't have the ability to. Dorkiness asked a great question, which is, why are we doing a movie about little kid Anakin? Like, did anyone ask for little kid? Why are we not just skipping to like older Anakin? Why do we need to know how he was found and all that stuff? Can't we do that in a flashback sequence? I liked how the fighting sort of showed how far Obi-Wan had grown as a duelist in his isolation, only needing one swing. Yeah, Val, I get that. It's just, I don't know. For Darth Maul to have like powered through so much and then just like getting kind of done in, it was like, really showed off the growth of Obi-Wan. Yeah, okay, so that's good though. I'm glad that other people had a better read on it, being like it wasn't just a like killing off moment for Darth Maul. It was a growth moment for Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was never one of my like favorite characters in Star Wars, so I was probably just less invested in his growth and like arc. I am excited about the new movie. I don't know about you guys, but the new Obi-Wan movie that they're doing,
Isn't it a
I think.
show?
Oh, is it a show?
I think it's a
I
show.
can
Yeah.
never keep track with Disney.
I think it's a show on Disney Plus. I could be wrong though.
Ah, well, got to keep people subscribed to Disney Plus, am I right?
I don't know what
But
to put on in the background. I don't, because my plans have not been working. So you guys can look at my fun background.
I was gonna say you can play more Duel Links. I'm sure people don't mind. Pretty sure it's a show. I've seen some pics of the set they built in the UK. Yeah, so okay, so it is a show, and that's good because I think that the episodic format is going to be better for telling the kind of stories. I'm sure, hopefully, people in chat have watched The Mandalorian. If you haven't, watch it now, and there are going to be spoilers, so that's going to be a thing in a minute. But I thought The Mandalorian was exceptional, or is exceptional so far. The move Obi-Wan used was to move his master lost to Darth Maul with. Maul can resist using it again, but Obi-Wan tricked him. Yeah, no, I do remember that. Over 9,000. I feel like excellent force, chaotic evil exist in the galaxy. Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of my thing is that Maul was the weird X factor, this weird variable that existed in kind of the background of Star Wars. Like, and they've done that with Solo, where they showed him as like leader of the Crimson Dawn and stuff. And there's just like this really cool kind of lurking evil that's even be like just beyond the periphery of the like main struggle, and Darth Maul being such a terrifying character and being so powerful um it's really cool to have somebody who's not invested as much in like the Skywalker saga, but is still like a force to be reckoned with as a force user, and as a lightsaber duelist. It's nice to have there, and I feel like when you start killing off those side bits, you kind of thin down and narrow the scope of the story and the galaxy. Yeah. So the X Factor is good and can swing either way on a whim for good or evil. And yeah, and that's kind of the fun part. Why jumping again around a bunch, but that's why I liked Rogue One so much. And I don't know, chat. We heard from a couple of you that you enjoyed it, but hopefully everybody else liked Rogue One. Um, Rogue One has the awesome character of Saw Gerrera, and I always felt like Saw Gerrera is another one of those interesting X factors where it's that like a force for good, but that through the trials and tribulations of the galaxy gets like tilted into this like chaotic good, this sort of unrestrained, like mission driven good that's no longer has the moral high ground, so to speak. And that's a really cool kind of character to have in Star Wars, and I think Rogue One did that well. I think Star Wars needs a bit more of it, which is the moral ambiguity of some characters, where they're pursuing what we've been told in the older movies is a good thing. They're pursuing like doing, but the way they do it is so evil, or is so like careless and without regard for anyone else. Are we going to start placing any bets? I'm a wager that in less than 20 years we will have a canon Darth Maul son, unless Disney switches to complete reboot of all of Star Wars first. We'll
Maybe a
see.
nephew because he had a brother, so he probably has other
Yeah,
siblings.
yeah. It's it'd be interesting if they decide to go that route. I wouldn't put it past Disney to like just try everything. Yeah, Savage Oppress. Yeah, Val. That name always struck me the wrong way. I was just like, man. So we are just saying who we are in the name now. But I guess so. Those who don't know about Star Wars, if you haven't read any of the visual dictionaries or backstory stuff, they always do that. Um, so the guy in episode 2 who deals death sticks in the nightclub uh, is named Ilan Sleazebagano.
Let's make it this the
Now,
background picture. Oh yeah, because I don't know what to do. Sorry everyone, we're doing this for now until the game gets going.
But over 9,000. Oh, it's gonna be really stupid. The Son of Darth Maul,
Why did I
but it's
make it?
Disney. Yeah, so I guess stupid is relative. But anyway, I've been jawing for a hot minute or forever. Dorkiness, why don't you
Oh
get
no,
some of
you
your
know
Star Wars
way
in on
more
this?
about this than I do, and I'm
Yeah, but you're on camera
trying
and the
to.
chat loves hearing your thoughts.
No, the chat
So
doesn't
throw
love
a
hearing
couple
my
of them
thoughts.
out
They're
there.
here for your thoughts. I'm just trying to get things to work, and the game's taking longer to download than I thought. Cause I
Don't
don't
just tell
plan
me any damn
ahead.
things.
What?
Do you want to go home and rethink your life? I
Yeah,
want to go home and rethink my life.
that's kind of what I would do.
That was a good line, and that's about what I
Why is
want
it
for
doing
humor in my Star
flashing
Wars. If you guys have seen
stuff?
Force Awakens, Force Awakens had that great we'll use the Force. That's not how the Force works.
Mm-hmm.
That is great. That's the comedy I want in my Star Wars. I want there to be like I want it to be kind of like deadpan. I want it to be like kind of sarcastic. I've really enjoyed the humor that they've had in The Mandalorian. Even the slapstick stuff, like it's Doran Martell. If there's Darth Maul's son, 100% Disney has him killed off in the
There we
first
go.
15 minutes of
Too
his
much for me.
anti-hero miniseries. No, Doran, they do what they do with if you guys know or have played the campaign for Star Wars Battlefront 2, there was a prequel novel to Battlefront 2, and the whole thing circles around Iden Versio, who is the leader of an Imperial Spec Ops team called Inferno Squad. Now, the novel, pretty friggin' cool, actually situates that they have like friends and relationships within the Empire. It humanizes them a lot, but they're like this unstoppable force of the Emperor's will. It's really cool to read, but despite being really cool, I won't recommend it. And here's why. Because the game has you play as Imperial Inferno Squad Item Versio for all of 3 missions. And then, as soon as she sees the Empire implementing their special Cinder protocol, I think is what it's called, um, and start like wiping out worlds that are undermined
It'll
with
be
like
big.
guerrilla sentiments and sympathies, she knee-jerk turns and becomes rebel, and she's like a fucking like rebel soldier. She's like meeting Leia. She's like, you know, she's like a card-carrying member of the rebellion, which is the most tired and done to death Star Wars trope, which is the stormtrooper who's like all gung ho about the Empire, and then like they see one thing, and then they're done. They're like, oh man, I've been on the wrong boat for all these years. Over 9,000. You say peace out. So you headed out. Well, thanks for stopping by if you are. And if it's something that I've missed here, then stick around, I guess. But yeah, so I don't know if anyone else felt this way, but it's the same thing with like the new Star Wars Squadrons story. That one's less of a spoiler because it happens right out of the gate, like it's literally first mission. So that's less of a spoiler. But again, it falls on this old tired trope of if you're with the Empire, you're generally just deciding you don't want to be, and that's where you get like the Finn, like I'm a stormtrooper who's been a stormtrooper for a bit, and then oh man, like this is all so horrible. I can't do this anymore. I'm now a rebel. And then you've got the like one that he meets Rise of Skywalker, and yeah, Val. Squadrons is the space flight sim one. It's got a campaign mode that's really cool and about the development of the Starhawk battle cruisers. So it's a neat story. It's just I don't like the continued like Imperial, but with like a heart of gold, who turns a new leaf and finds a way to be a good guy again. I don't like it, but that's also because, spoiler alert if you haven't picked up by now, I'm one of those people who's like hashtag Empire did nothing wrong. Um, so, or at least nothing that was worse than what the rebels do. So, yeah, Bagel, rebels good, Empire bad. Yeah, it's the easy allegory that you can throw around. So, Cosmos guy wants to know what your favorite Star Wars movie is, Dorkiness.
Oh no.
I'm gonna get a drink while you
People want me to talk? Oh no. He's like the Star Wars nerd. I liked Rogue One a lot. That was my favorite. Um, when we saw it in theaters, because it made me actually want to watch Star Wars, which I'm so scared I'm muted, but I can see my mic. Um, so Rogue One was really good, and I really liked that. It made me want to watch more Star Wars. But my favorite Star Wars thing is The Mandalorian. That's the one I'm really into, because I like the space western. And I like Baby Yoda or Grogu because he's really cute. But yeah, no, we went and saw Rogue One in theaters because we saw The Force Awakens. And thank you, Valtiel. I made a muted emote. I actually did. You should have it in your thing because I did it for tier 1. Anyway, yeah, so we saw The Force Awakens in theaters, and I was like, movie's kind of whatever. And then I had said that I wouldn't go see The Last Jedi with them, like, because I'm sure Ramble said him and his friends go do like a midnight screening for each movie. So I didn't go with them for Rogue One, and then he came back and Ramble was like, this is so good, you need to see it. So I saw it in theaters, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, and it made me want to rewatch like a bunch of the old ones and stuff, because I'm like I like Star Wars, but I'm not like obsessed. Like, I really didn't get into it the way a lot of other people did. And it's funny because everyone assumes because I'm with Ramble that I have the same passion for Star Wars, and it's funny because I can kind of regurgitate what he says and him and his friends say, so I sound more knowledgeable. But yeah, my favorite movie is Rogue One, just to go full circle, but I like The Mandalorian the most. And yeah, I've seen everything. I don't except the third movie, the third prequel. I just want a Star Wars movie that follows a working class stormtrooper has a family. That'd be a depressing ass movie. Stop being sad. Rambo, are you back? Did I hear you?
I am back.
Okay.
I was letting you talk though.
I don't.
Chat wants to hear your thoughts. I've been rambling
I
for
don't have thoughts.
better part of an hour.
My thoughts are I hate Origin so much.
Yeah, hands up in chat if you hate EA Origin and think it's a terrible, terrible platform.
I really hate it. And like just what I need. Like, I download Epic and now I have to download Origin. Like, can I just have every individual company do a platform, please? Like, I want 40 apps to play any of my games. Like, anyway, but because I'm trying to get Battlefront going, but it's not gonna work. My plan might fail. I might give in and just buy the Lego Star Wars for when we do these talks, and I can just run around playing Lego Star Wars. You laugh, but I'm being serious.
I was gonna say the Lego Star Wars that's the first 6 movies is like $20 or something, so it's not too expensive, and unless you're really holding out for the complete saga one that's supposed to be coming out.
So I know I said my favorite character is Darth Maul, but I really like Cassian Andor too in Rogue One. I think he's my favorite character out of Rogue One, not just because Diego Luna is a snack. But I think he's a really good character, and I think that's what they were. I feel like they're. I don't know. I don't ever feel like Poe Dameron was a fleshed out enough character, and I feel like his kind of like character fluctuates between all 3 movies. So like I feel like he's kind of more jokey, silly in the third one, right? Versus the first 2, I didn't get that vibe. But anyway, I feel like that's kind of what they wanted Poe to be, was Cassian Andor's character, you know?
Yeah, and I think that another thing that kind of I think one of the things that really held him back, and I don't think this is even his fault, or even the writing. I think that Cassian Andor comes across as a much like lived in universe character because of the accent.
Yeah, I mean, I got excited for. I've said this to Ramble a few times. It's nice to have someone who doesn't have a British accent. Like an American. Like, I'm like, oh my god, we have the whole universe and all that exists. Apparently, like, the only space colonization we did was Britain and America, right? So I'm like, come on, other countries had to get it. Like, where's like the French accents and where's the weird other accents? And anyway, like, just things that that we haven't heard before. I know it'd be hard to do, but I'm like, why? So it was nice to have Diego Luna have a different accent, which I think was really cool. But because just more that the universe isn't just American or British. Sorry, I love this. I can't wait for the show, the Andor show they're doing. Let the snackage continue. Yes, please. I should be careful saying I want 40 apps and individual apps, because people will like quote me and be like, look, this one streamer said this, and not realizing it's sarcasm and that I hate every company that does an app.
Up and coming Twitch icon dorkiness says apps are goods.
Up and coming with the I appreciate that. But yeah, no, Rogue One was amazing, and it's a really good movie. And to be honest, I thought Han's, like, the Solo movie got a lot of flack that it was better than I expected. But I don't know if that's one of those that, like, you know when, like, a movie's really good? Like, I remember when Superbad came out and everyone was going on and on about how great it was, and I saw it, like, right away in theaters, so I was like, oh my god, it's good. And I had a bunch of friends who went and saw it after, who were told about how good it was, and they're like, oh, it was all right, but because it got so hyped. So I'm wondering if it's the exact opposite I had with the Solo movie, because everyone was like, oh my god, it's so bad, and it did so bad, and it failed, and like this and that. So when we watched it, we were like, what was all this hoopla about? Like, it wasn't like there were dumb parts, like when he's like, oh, your name's Chewbacca, I'm gonna call you Chewie because that's too long. It's like, well, no shit. We like, thank God we figured out where the nickname Chewie came from. But like,
yeah, it's
but
like the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie, where it's like, we got to show the origin of his iconic leather jacket. It's like, nobody was asking for this. We all just figured he got a jacket somewhere. Move on.
Yeah, no, it just bugged me that they did that. And I'm like, why? Like, why? But like, I mean, overall, it was better than I thought it was gonna be. It'd be very like middling Star Wars if I were to like rank my Star Wars. We should have done that before we started this, is had our ranks and see where they line up. But like I would have said it was like a middle. Like I liked it better than certain ones. Like,
Yeah, Solo is I guess if I had to do a like on the fly sort of read of the Star Wars movies and where they fall,
mm-hmm.
I think Solo would probably take 4th or 5th place overall in all of the movies. And I think that's because I think I actually enjoyed Solo as much as I enjoy watching Return of the Jedi now. And that's because Solo, if you don't look under the hood, if you don't like go nitpicking too much with it, much like Return of the Jedi, you actually just get a nice, fun space romp. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't destroy. It doesn't, unlike the sequel trilogy, it doesn't assassinate any characters to the point where they're a completely different person. I thought that the casting was pretty on point. The only complaint that I had about any of the acting in the movie was just Donald Glover seemed to be given instructions to do a Billy D. Williams impression some scenes and then not in other ones. You had Lando talking normally in some, and then other scenes he was talking like this.
Cheers.
So
I got coins redeemed to hydrate. That I think would be my biggest complaint. And Donald Glover actually does a great Billy D. Williams impression.
Really good.
And so I feel bad for him because I don't think it was his fault. Because, I mean, didn't that movie have, like, 3 directors? So I feel like he had, like, a director come in at the end and be like, okay, now you know we need the Billy D. Williams accent now. And he's like, okay, but what about the other scenes? They're like, oh, no, we're fine. We'll move on. And
that movie went through so many extensive rewrites and reshoots. I'm sure at one point they were like, don't do it. And then another one they were like, do it. And then at a certain point they're like, yeah, we filmed all the scenes. It's like, but he's done the accent in half of them.
Right.
So.
And that, again, I don't blame Donald Glover for that whatsoever.
No, not at all.
And I think he's really good in that role. I was gonna say Paul...
Shout out to Woody Harrelson as Tobias Beckett. What a great character, fantastic acting.
He gets really over the death of his wife, partner in crime, whatever she is, really fast. He is like, bitch is dead, we are moving on. I was gonna say Paul Bettany, his character.
Paul Bettany was very good too, actually.
Have you ever seen any of Billy D. Williams commercials for Colt 45 malt liquor? I have not.
No, I haven't. I imagine
I've never seen a commercial for Colt 45. I assumed it just existed. Like,
one day,
are you desperate for beer? Here, and you have 30 cents? Here you go. You need to watch those.
Are you returning 3 empties and you want to quench that thirst with an alcoholic beverage? Colt 45 has you covered.
Colt 45 is terrible. I don't know if you've ever had it. It is terrible.
Val, if you wanted to drop a link to one of those in the Discord, feel free, because I'm sure everyone would like to take a look.
My Star Wars is saying there is 5 minutes remaining on it. Hooray!
Awesome, awesome.
Guys, we made it. Actually, it's funny. It took exactly as long as it said almost. But yeah, so Star Wars. I don't have like in-depth analysis the way Ramble can go on and on about it, but I like things and stuff. We can tell you guys the story when we went to see The Force Awakens, and there was a kid running around being Kylo Ren, and in like a full Kylo Ren cosplay, and it was really impressive. And he had like the stance and everything, like hunched over, and he has the lightsaber, and he's like going around and like swinging it at people. And then following behind him is his little sister. We think it was little sister in a like Halloween store Kylo Ren costume. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
There were 2 Kylo Rens, so this one was like super into it, and yeah, following behind was like the little sister and like her like Kylo Ren or little brother, like sibling in a Kylo Ren like Halloween one with like the Walmart lightsaber. Like the one guy had like a real effects like version, like really nice, and yeah, and he's going around all and then the person's falling behind like wait for me. Like it's just really funny to watch, just like Kylo Ren and imitation Kylo Ren. And then there's another one where was they dressed up as Vader? Or
I
Luke
think so.
or something. They were dressed up as someone from Star Wars. And then this was his actual sister, the younger sister. She was dressed up as a fairy princess with fairy wings. And we overheard her saying to someone that because her brother got to dress up, she wanted to dress up too. So, and her mom's like, oh, you don't want to do Star Wars? She's like, no, I want to be a fairy princess. And the mom's like, okay. So it's really cute. So one kid's in like cosplay for the new Star Wars movie, and then the other one's just fairy princess. I loved it. It made me happy.
It was great.
We should.
Yeah, no, the midnight screenings were good, and we stopped. We did them for Force Awakens, and then we did it for Rogue One, and we were so fired up after the Rogue One midnight screening that we did it again the following year for The Last Jedi, and then we never did it again because The Last Jedi is The Last Jedi, and I don't know if you enjoyed The Last Jedi in your chat. I'm happy for you. I don't understand you, but I'm happy for you. But The Last Jedi isn't like I unapologetically despise that movie for a litany of reasons. It is an exhausting list to run through. But I'm sure you guys can at least, if you're cursory Star Wars fans, you can at least guess at some of the issues I had with it. You didn't care for Last Jedi either, but you thought it was artistically pleasing.
I think it looked beautiful. Like when they're on crate, it is like gorgeous, but like there's so much of it that makes no sense. Like what's with the suicide mission? Why did they already have depleted forces? Why, like they point out that their plan was literally to just ram into like the First Order, right?
Yeah, commit Sudoku.
Yeah,
and just
like,
run,
why were
run
they
into
doing
the...
why were they doing that? I don't understand. And there's just so much I don't understand why they did.
Bagel liked Casino Night Zone Planet. Said it was fascinating, pointless, but fascinating.
My favorite is they are more upset about animals than slave children.
Yeah, Canto Bight isn't even a bad idea in concept. I actually think that the idea of like a resort planet with like a big casino that like money laundering and like weapons brokering occurs at is a pretty cool idea. And I think you could do a lot with a planet like that, but they turned it into just such a CG and we're saying something about something planet. And there's just oh, I never thought about that they were more sad about the Space Horses. Yeah, Val, think about it for a couple of seconds and it gets kind of messed up, doesn't it?
They like end on this kid like sweeping in the barn looking out like all hopeful, like as if it's supposed to be this like inspiring shot, and I'm like, they left those kids behind. Those poor children.
Not only did they leave those kids behind, but if I can task chat with remembering the fact that they ride away on those horse things, and then they take off the harnesses from them, and then get on a ship and leave the planet.
They're
So
just
those
gonna catch
horse
the
things-
horses.
just get captured again or killed. Like they're not just gonna let them roam free. They
Well,
clearly
they
need
got
them for
out, so they're
something.
fine.
Yeah, it's such a it's and then like yeah the ships are running out of gas, and so it's like what do you mean they're running out of gas? And it's like okay, hyperfuel coaxium. It's kind of a neat plot device to throw in there. However, I don't like that it's like, oh well, if we jump to hyperspace, they'll track us and catch us. But they're not low on hyperfuel. So in this whole chase sequence throughout The Last Jedi, why isn't First Order just jumping a bunch of their ships ahead of them and just waiting for them at all of the possible routes they could take and then just ghosting them there? Like it it doesn't make any sense. And so the whole concept and conceit of the movie is just not really that plausible unless, and this is the conclusion you have to draw, unless the First Order is stupid. Because if the First Order is stupid, all of the things they do make sense. The hyperdrive is leaking was a plot point from Phantom Menace. Yeah, and see, I get that, but this idea of like the ships are running out of like we're running low on hyperfuel. Cool, sure, whatever, fine. But then you also have the fleet being chased, and you have people going down with their ships. And Dorkiness, I'm going to let you take this one. The people, like the captains who are like going down with their ships as they run out of fuel.
Yeah, why do they stay on their ships? Can anyone in chat tell me that? Because there is no reason, again, when they are running out of people and these ships are going to be destroyed, why are they staying with their ships? Just evacuate with everyone else. And because there's the one scene where the like, lady's like, come to, he's like, I gotta go down with the ship. Fucking why? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's not like on a, I guess they're trying to do the thing where it's like a boat. Like, it's like when you would like like someone goes down the ship like
AD digital, and yeah, like that's actually
but
funny
like
you were just saying that.
Why like
going down with the ship is a Navy thing.
But they just lost
Yeah.
when Poe does the thing, they lose a ton of their people, and they point out that they are like skeleton crew. There's no time for this honor bullshit. You need to keep every single person on hand. Like, this is insane. They're being so
Also,
fucking stupid.
Also, Val, I don't think it's even.
Yeah, they could put a droid.
I think it's simple. I think it's simpler than that. Cars, literally cars that we have today have cruise control. You're telling me that's not a thing you can just flip a switch on a ship? A faster than light spacefaring vessel doesn't have cruise control? Are you kidding me? No, the captain has to go down with the ship, so you're just losing manpower. And I know why it's there. I think everybody in chat, I think we all know why. It's so it feels emotional. It's so you're like, oh no, that guy like went down with his ship and now they have less ships. It's so sad. It's so sad. It's like, but it's less sad when you realize that like the ships getting destroyed in The Last Jedi, they don't like they have to be destroyed, okay, but cruise control only available on land speeders.
Why?
Yeah, D digital.
Whenever I hit.
Yeah,
Sorry, when I hit.
it's a premium feature. The Resistance never they didn't spring for that. It's like power locks. They don't have those either.
When I hit Alt Enter, it puts it full screen on my second screen. Why does it do this? I don't understand.
Is your second screen set as your primary monitor?
Probably.
Valtiel, I remember my biggest complaint with it the first time I saw it was that they introduced the big bad and then killed the big bad and always let me down with movies. Yeah, no, that's huge letdown, right? And they don't even touch on him. They're just like, yeah, nope, fuck him. Snoke was never a thing ever anyway. And that's Val, I think you're orbiting around what the true issue is with the entirety of the movie. And it's that it was so focused on being subversive that it just didn't pan out any of the storylines. It was just so busy, didn't expect.
Wait, I need settings. Where's my mouse?
I say you may also need to drop your settings a bit because your frames are fairly low.
Yeah, it's not gonna be able to do both. All right, guys, this was a bad plan. We're going back to Yu-Gi-Oh. All that for nothing.
It's fine. We'll shake out some of the bugs and things
Guys,
before
I
our
don't know
next
what I'm
Star
doing.
Warsy stream. But
I should stick to Yu-Gi-Oh.
but yeah, so Discord and Battlefront 2 don't get along. Make sure the game overlay is disabled on Discord. It causes some issues. Oh, good note, Digital.
You know, I don't know what any of that means though, so I'm just gonna go back to Yu-Gi-Oh and then let us keep talking about Star Wars. Because I
Make sure you change the or does the stream say anything about playing Battlefront, or you just
I'm gonna change it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. I just don't want people showing up expecting. It's all good. Tech
See,
stuff happens. It's understandable.
Valteal
Yeah.
is so understanding, and I appreciate it so much. Dual links. Yeah, you never downloaded Parsec, did you?
No, kept getting sidetracked by other things happening. So
Because we could do Overcooked one
I
day.
can download that now if you want to keep chat happy.
No, it's fine. Well, don't.
Chat jibber jabber with her while I install
No,
things.
don't do that. We'll do it later.
Don't leave.
Yeah, don't leave me. Dual links with Star Wars chatter. There, it's done. It's changed. We've been updated. All right, guys. It's okay. I can multitask. I'm really good at it. No, I'm not at all. But okay. So what were we talking about? Where did we leave off before I went into a panic?
Snoke being killed.
Oh, that seems so stupid. Did you talk about the guards, the Victorian guards? Because that makes
Nope,
me so
haven't
mad.
gotten to them yet.
Because that makes me so mad. Because, like, sorry, am I jumping ahead?
No, fine. Yeah, we're jumping all over the place anyway.
Like, again, I'm assuming that they all know the rule of two. I'm assuming, like, a lot about their structure. But from all I've gathered about their structure is that if Snoke is killed, they are done their duty to protect Snoke. And this is, like, in the rule of two, it's you kill your master and then you become the master and then you take on an apprentice. And I'm pretty sure implying that, like, Snoke and Kylo Ren, forgot his name, Kylo Ren have like a Sith relationship, right? And they're doing like that kind of thing, right? So the rule 2 exists, and they would know it, and so the Praetorian Guards would probably know it. So if Kylo Ren kills Snoke, instead of attacking Kylo Ren, they should automatically bow down and just be like, you're the leader now. I'm just saying, like, I watched it, I was like, why did they attack him? I don't get it. Like, the way that they're setting up their everything. Wouldn't it?
Well, and I think your one question, and
Yu-Gi-Oh! With lightsabers.
This was probably the best question, was okay, so let's say hypothetically the Praetorian Guards,
but they would know how the rules
strong,
work.
And you kill Kylo Ren. Now what? So you've killed Kylo Ren. Who's in charge? Do you just fight each other until somebody's left standing? Like, what's the protocol? If the apprentice of the guy that you're serving is the next in line, but you don't like that, so you kill him. Like, yeah, Bagel, they aren't Sith, but like, why does that matter? Like, it's as simple as if there is a hierarchy of power, like, you would logically be, I guess Hux gets a promotion in that case. See, and that's the weird thing, is because, like, Hux is also a strange character that was done a massive disservice in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker, Hux's, like, character makes no sense. He's literally like, yeah. I'm going to betray you and put my life at risk on all accounts. And when they're like, why'd you do it? And I mean, first of all, him doing it in general was stupid. I forget who I thought it was, but I didn't think it was him. But he's like, oh, because I, like, hate this Kylo Ren guy? Like, literally was what it came to. I hate Kylo Ren so much, I'd rather fuck over everything I've worked for than him, and, like, have him fail than have him succeed. Like, it was the weirdest. Yeah. What is this logic? Like, and then, of course, he dies. Like, so I'm like, you're gonna get killed no matter what. Anyway.
No, it was bad. It was bad writing, because I think that they had always intended for there to be someone who was like a mole in the First Order, and they just. I also feel like the relationship between Kylo and Rey never really made sense to me.
Because they were supposed to bone.
All right, so now you guys get to learn that.
Controversial, because this is such a hot take, and I'm the only one that feels this way, other than, like, weirdos on fan fiction websites. But there's like sexual tension for the first 2 movies. And I don't know how I'm the only person who sees it. Like Ray and Kyle have sexual tension, and I was so worried they were gonna be like cousins or something. I was like,
Valtiel
no.
says big time.
Thank
Valtiel
you.
agrees.
Thank you. Everyone argues with me, and they're like, no, and I'm like, they needed to bone. What are you talking? They're like fucking forced FaceTiming. They're like
I was gonna say,
Skyping
the
the whole
first
second movie, and he's shirtless
The
out.
first movie maybe a bit less,
Oh my
but
God,
the
Weevil.
second movie we've got shirtless scenes. We've got her making a like forced Skype call with him that gets interrupted by Papa Luke. Like it's there. Yes, Val, the shirtless scene. Let's talk about Ben Swallow.
Hold on, Ramble. You need to
Yes.
do a Weevil impression again.
Why?
I unlocked Weevil.
Oh, I'm sorry. I turned off the video while you were downloading. So am I just doing the say goodbye to Exodia again?
Sure.
Say goodbye to Exodia.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yay.
Everyone gets a free Weevil impression because she unlocked Weevil.
Okay, sorry, as you were saying.
But no, the shirtless scene, yeah, the high-rise pants, all of it, Val. I want all of it. I want literally that to be his. They kept taking layers off of him. Like first it was the helmet, first it was the hood, then it was the helmet, then it was the cloak, then it was the shirt, and it's like, man, we are getting the pants off at some point. It's happening, and then it didn't, and it was like, But then there were all the people who were super mad, and Dorkiness doesn't understand this at all. People were mad about the like kiss in Rise of Skywalker.
Yo, I'd be mad they didn't bone. Would that be the first sex scene in Star Wars? There's no sex scenes.
Yeah, no, there isn't.
That'd be great. But
Do you
yeah.
think they were going for a vulnerability motif with the removing armor? Val, I think that they are exactly that subtle. I think that Disney thinks fans are stupid. And so they will show something subtly, and then just to make sure you got it, they'll have the character say it. So I don't know if you recall, but like Kylo Ren basically says that about Rey, where it's just like he's like, you know, he feels differently about her. She's different than the other ones, and all this other, all the
Not
other
like other
standard
girls.
all the standard bad boy isms of just like, I don't know, there's something different about you, and yeah, so.
Masaro. What? Aramiro Neo Brew as all time to dragon? Yeah.
But,
I don't know what just happened. Thanks for joining us, Massa.
But yeah, so I think that I think the whole of Last Jedi is just it's a bizarre experiment in subverting expectations and just doing some weird stuff like grumpy Luke. I did not care for the character assassination of Luke.
Shouldn't underestimate.
I'm gonna be a fool.
Anything yet. My turn.
I didn't care for like Hux's treatment in Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker is full of problems too, guys. I don't know if anybody in here was like, cool, it saved the trilogy. It didn't. It was better than The Last Jedi, but that's setting a really low bar. Rise of Skywalker has some fucking problems. Let me tell you what. Actually, Dorkiness, what was your biggest issue with Rise of Skywalker?
That's the last one that occurred.
Recent one.
Okay. I'm really good at this. Help me here. I'm trying to remember what happens in the movie. Because I don't remember what happens in the movie. Oh no.
What a great finish to the Skywalker saga, guys.
What happens
Can't
in
even
Rise
remember
of Skywalker?
the film.
There's the scene where he like does the thing with Harrison Ford. Two scripts smashed together.
Yep.
There's the scene with Harrison Ford. I remember
Which
that.
was actually really good.
I hate it.
I
I like that scene. Yeah. The first when Poe and Ray are bickering, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I think it's like
the energy they always should have had.
What I told you there was a specific turning point for me, and I can't remember because I don't. So I've talked about this before, chat. I don't remember movies. unless I really like them or really hate them. So the ongoing joke with me and Ramble is, for some reason in my mind, the entire plot of The Prestige, which I saw when I was like 15, so well over a decade ago, was like locked in my mind because I hate that movie so much. And yeah, I can't remember Rise of Skywalker, which I think I saw in July. So what?
D-Digital, they basically yanked the end of Endgame out and stuffed it into the end of the Star Wars. Yeah, that's basically it.
What
But no,
was?
I think you said that the turning point was, wasn't it when the ship blows up with Chewie on it?
Yes.
Chewie on
Yes,
it, air
in that
quotes.
scene. And because fucking what's his name is like literally just like standing. Kylo Ren is just standing there
Out in the open.
out in the open, and everyone's like, no one is acknowledging that Kylo Ren's right there, and I don't know why, but it makes me so mad. Like, it's like everyone's just like going on like talking about whatever they want. Like, they're just like acting like, no, the big baddie who just is trying to kill him isn't right there. And then on top of that, yeah, and then Chewie's in the thing. What is the effect? If this card is sent to a graveyard by a card effect.
Yeah, no, and that was, I felt like that was kind of a cheap move too, where they like pretended to kill off Chewie. And yeah, Matsuro, yeah, we've been playing Duel Links for like a week now, I guess, on channel. So dorkiness is
Doesn't that
slowly
suck?
learning her way through the game still.
If the
But yeah, I think that Chewie's like death, quote unquote,
oh,
was like pretty cheap, especially when they played it like it was super important and they undid it. D-Digital, I have expected a extended cut on Disney Plus, but that would be admitting Disney Lucasfilm got it wrong. Yeah, and they're
Masaru,
not
thank
going.
you for the follow. And just want to say really quickly that I've been playing for like a week and 2 days. So
Yeah,
sir.
okay, so it's a week and 2 days at this point.
Yeah, I started last Friday.
D-Digital, I have no clue if we're ever going to get an admission that the sequel trilogy was a bad idea, because I don't think that they've gone in so hard on a number of like stances that they took on it. Like Ryan Johnson wasn't a bad choice, his script was fine. Rise of Skywalker is how we always intended for it to finish. The sequel trilogy went as intended. It's all toxic fans. There's nobody who dislikes the movies has legitimate criticisms. They hate it because it has a strong female character. It has nothing to do with the fact that Rey is as bland as a unbuttered piece of lightly toasted white bread. It's like there's so many times that they went in multiple directions with like how they'd fight off criticism. And I don't think that like they would lose so much face if they came forward now and were like, the fans were kind of right. We should not have done multiple different directors for the different films. Ryan Johnson he was taking chances and taking risks, and that was not the right decision at the time. I think they're just going to let it sit. They might I think that they're going to be done with the Skywalker saga, which was always, I think, the intention. I think that they're probably kicking themselves in the ass right now, though, wondering. No, I haven't had Karma Cut used on me yet today, Masuro. But have you had it used before? And it definitely brings the salt. But yeah, I think that going forward with Star Wars, I think they're going to be kicking themselves that they've killed off so many iconic characters. Especially with the response that people had to Mandalorian, especially the finale of the new season. Again, spoilers if you haven't seen the Mandalorian, you may want to mute me for a sec. Look at the mess they made with Solo. Ron Howard was left with a broken mess and tried to join together into something that made any sense. Yeah, we were talking before D-Digital that Solo, for all of the development hell that it went through, it was not nearly as bad as a lot of people made it out to be. It was still a mess, and it was a mess largely because of the overreach from Lucasfilms. So, I think that they did it no favors, but I think that the fact that you even got a halfway coherent movie at the end of the day was astonishing. Just because of all the rewrites, reshoots, because of all of the problems and butting of heads at Disney and at Lucasfilm. But hopefully Kathleen Kennedy's going to get a lot less control in the future. Masuro, we live in Canada. We live in Canada. Yeah, we mention that fairly regularly on stream, I think. But
Canucks who enjoy a good
um,
poutine.
yeah, to enjoy a good poutine.
It's on
Um,
you.
but yeah, I don't know. Like, did you guys chat? Feel free if there was anything about Mandalorian you didn't like, let us know because we were pretty sold on it. We thought it was very well put together, very well done. But
Oh my god, so The Mandalorian. So first of all, I want to say in season 1, I think it's what, episode 7 or 8. It's the second last episode that occurs before the season ends, right? And again, all spoilers. But this is season 1. So it's when it ends and it's the stormtroopers took Grogu, right? And they're like running off and then you don't know what's happening to him. Ramble can attest to this. I laid in bed frowning. Like Homer Simpson when he realizes he has to get up. Like I was scowling.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dorkiness literally like had a perma scowl on her face until the next episode.
And
came
that
out.
was, we had to wait a week
happy.
and a half because remember they had made that episode come out early, so instead of the Friday it came out the Wednesday. And then I had to wait a week and a half to know the fate of Baby Yoda. And then this season, fucking 2 episodes before the last one. And I'm like panicking because I was like, it's like the Werner Herzog meme. Like, I want to see the baby. I want to see the child. Where is the child?
I would like to see the child. D-Digital, it's so annoying they threw all the Solo stuff from the novels in the trash. There was a great Han Solo trilogy, which is now Legends. There was so much good stuff in Legends. There was some bad stuff. I won't be one of those people who's like, rose-colored glasses looking back about some of the stuff. Some of it was bad. Some of it wasn't fantastic. But there were some really good storylines. And which Solo trilogy are you talking about? Do you remember the author, D-Digital? Just because I want to know if I've read it or if it's something that should be on my to-read list, because there's a lot of expanded universe stuff to sift through. But I always thought that the plot arc for the dark side turn of Han Solo's son in the Legends stuff was really cool, and the turn to Darth Caedus. I thought that was so well done in the books, and then they did like a Diet Coke version of it for the sequel trilogy, which was like, this is not as good. Yeah, thanks, D-Digital. Valtiel, why do we even have baby-sized handcuffs? Are we the bad guys? Yeah, it's one of those questions where you do have to kind of pause for a second and be like, they have handcuffs that would fit on an infant.
Though, I think I can actually make an argument for it. Because we are in Star Wars, and these fucking monsters are all different sizes. I'm pretty sure we've seen a fairy alien, right? And like Maz Kanata, she's really small. So my theory is that they're not baby-size handcuffs for babies. They're small-size handcuffs for really small alien races.
Good argument.
Because Yoda is small.
Yeah, that's true.
So I will say that. That is my...
And D-Digital, yeah.
Not that you don't have a point, Valtiel. It's just more so I think I can maybe explain this.
Depends on the writer, to be honest. I'll look into no, there were some writers that were better than others for sure. I'm glad that by the end of the old like Legends stuff, they kind of had their regulars. They had like Timothy Zahn was like a regular go-to, and they just gave them their bigger projects and were like, the experimental side stuff can go to other authors. But no, I distinctly I thought that the ending of season 2 of The Mandalorian could have been a cooler twist, like a cooler new character appearance, but I get why they went the direction they did. But all in all, The Mandalorian is a fantastic like jaunt through the Outer Rim, and I also liked that it very evenly kind of portrays that, like, yep, the Empire was toppled, and now the Rebellion, having to become the like New Republic, is facing all of the same logistical and like jurisdiction and trade and bureaucratic issues that the Empire had. And they're realizing, we can't just let people be free. We have to have some sort of law and order, which means we have to do documentation. We have to check papers. We've got to do like all of this stuff. And suddenly they're starting to sound a bit more authoritarian, especially in the Outer Rim. And you're starting to get a better idea of like why the Empire's level of control, while it was largely militant, I mean, for checkpoint stuff, there, Doran, yeah, it's almost like trying to govern across a galaxy is very hard, right?
Do I love that
Natsio,
that guy is from Kim's Convenience? He's just
yeah,
a
that's
Canadian
fantastic.
actor from like Toronto, right? Like it's really fun. And he has
About
his own
saying,
action figure.
yeah, you showed me that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sending the donut cups out to patrol the outer rim.
Well, see, and that's the interesting thing, Val, is that yeah, they're sending the donut cops out to patrol, but you have to also think about what they're flying in. They're requesting papers in military grade starfighters. So that'd be like if a police officer pulled up beside you in a tank and was like, "Yeah, can I see your papers, please?" Like the optics are a little bad. Bagel, you know who doesn't get enough credit? Dex Jetster. Not only did he run a successful diner, but if it wasn't for him, Obi-Wan never would have found the clones. Bagel, level with me. Are you just trying to sing the song of the unsung heroes? Is that what you're doing here? Because
I can
he
totally
wasn't
see
in.
Bagel being the kind of person that's like when everyone's like, "Oh, who's your favorite Star Wars character?" and he's just like the most obscure.
Yeah,
Just to be obscure.
he's like, you know that one guy who's in the Max Rebo band? Yeah, him.
But he actually knows his name and his entire backstory.
He's got like a burned CD copy of like the album of the like Max Rebo band. And he's like, no, I love listening to their music. It's a jaunty, jazzy tune. Play play that Cantina song, and then this one's called Cantina Song Number 3. Doran, when I lived in Georgia, I saw police officers driving tanks all the time. Yeah, but like, think about it if it was a space tank, and you see my concern. Because it's like, again, these are.
I know, is that
these-
in favor of the argument, or you're not pointing at? Well, okay.
But the problem with it being X-wings used to enforce the law, like people talk. People will know that they are policing you with the same ships that blew up the Death Star. It's like that's like that has some sort of connotation to it. You don't just police people with things that you use to topple an intergalactic super military. Like, but anyway, Max Rebo was the guy performing for Jabba. That was his bit. Okay, so what I'm hearing, Bagel, is that you are a Max Rebo fan. Do you have like a T-shirt? Like what was their set list like the last time you listened? I'm poking fun, Bagel. I know that your favorite Star Wars character is likely someone less obscure, but
He said some yesterday. I just don't
I
remember.
know I don't recall what
Our
what he was.
memories are bad. We're old.
No, it's just it's why I have a computer. Why am I remembering things when my computer can do it
Oh,
for
this
me?
is a creepy card. Sorcerer of the Doom. Spooky.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to change my deck again.
Nice.
Guys, why am I me? Why am I me? Alright.
Wait,
okay.
hang on. Bagel, are you trying to tell me you don't think Max Rebo could play the Cantina song? I don't know. I feel like you're throwing shade at Max Rebo now. Also, fun fact, did you guys know that one of the characters in the Cantina, this is going to be like one of those weird, wild, you know what I was saying earlier, like really early on in the stream about like Lovecraft Star Wars? This is one of those things. You gotta let the AI win sometimes so it doesn't feel bullied. Yeah, you gotta
Sure.
throw him a bone.
No, I
D
don't
Digital, the
understand.
Corellian trilogy were the Star Wars novels I was thinking of that took place 18 years after Return of the Jedi. Yeah, probably fantastic then. I would say if it's in that time vein, because I remember a lot of the ones that took place long after Return of the Jedi were actually pretty solid. So, um, but yeah, so one of the guys in the cantina, um, he's the dude who's like he's like a gaunt looking dude when they first go into the cantina in A New Hope, and he's like got like a metal thing that looks kind of like a pipe that he's like sucking on, and he's like blowing smoke. that guy, his backstory is actually super messed up because it turns out he's an alien race that has in his cheeks he's got like coiled up like tentacle things that he uses to drain people's life. He like
Gross.
drains their juices and stuff with it. It's friggin' wild. It's in one of those visual dictionaries. I forget what the name of the race is, but it's like I don't know if you guys had when you were younger those like visual dictionaries. You'd either get them out of the library or they'd be at like the book fairs and you could buy them. And they always had like the most absurd background knowledge, and the background knowledge was always just like it was either like it was written by an intern or it was someone who wrote really well for Star Wars, and they would like come up with this really rich backstory. Um, but yeah, they're like some of them just get wild and like super dark. Um, Best by are by nature better musicians. Fair enough, Bagel. I'll
Joey's
concede
deck
that one to you.
sucks, guys.
What's up?
Joey's deck sucks. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Ambush at Corellia, assault at Salonia, showdown at Center Point. Okay. Digital, I've got a Rise of Skywalker visual dictionary. Need it to fill in the plot holes. Yeah, D Digital, I'd buy it because or I wouldn't buy it. I'd believe it. I shouldn't say buy it. Disney will invoice me.
Ew. I
Um,
need to add that to my deck. Burst
Burst
stream
stream
of
destruction?
destruction. Yeah. Like Kaiba.
But yeah, D Digital. That's how they explained the junk writing in Last Jedi, when they were like, oh, like yeah, we got these things that are inspired by World War II bombers that drop bombs in space and they drop them straight down because you know space has all that gravity. Um, and then when people like fired across the bow on them on that one, were like, that's not how space works. You guys are dumb. They were like, no, 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 no. In our visual dictionary, it says that they are like magnetically propelled mines, so it all makes sense. And it's like, all right, so how much of this movie do we need the visual dictionary to understand? Because if it's more than this single fact, and fun fact, it is more than that single fact, uh, then absolutely there's no reason that your writing team should be writing. It was like 299 about 3 months after the movie came out. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like it, the visual dictionaries, the action figures, everything from the sequel trilogy just did not sell, and it's because it wasn't interesting. They had figures, characters who weren't cool, and I know they've always made figures for characters who aren't cool, but even the characters who were supposed to be cool weren't cool, and that's why you have like no merchandise moving, and why when they re-release like Darth Vader stuff and Luke Skywalker stuff, and they do the whole Black series of action figures, people are buying all of that up because they don't care about your new characters. Valtiel said, "Does Joey's deck really start with ancient rules? Did it really start
No.
with ancient rules in it?"
No, I
No, you
put
threw it
that
in there.
in. I'm probably gonna take it out. I need some stuff. I'm probably not making a coherent deck at all, and you guys are probably pulling your hair out, but it's fine. Oh, I remember this card.
Yep.
Ooh.
And do you remember the monster that's pictured on it, Mystical Elf?
Yeah. That we like watched the other day. I'm totally not.
Yeah, and the I was gonna say, in the show was like, oh well, the Mystical Elf is speaking an enchantment that allows her to give her attack points to my, and I'm like, stop, nope, that's not how that works. No, 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 no. Yeah, see, Bagel with the evidence. Newt Gunray had an action figure. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And I. The other weird thing though about episode one was that they made action figures for everyone, and the action figures came with those little chips. Bagel, do you remember we had a bunch of these? And the little chips, you had like a separate toy that when you put the chips on the toy, it would say a line from the movie. Yeah, Val. So you had some of those too. Yeah. So and the thing was, even the minor nobody characters had them. So you had like Rick O'Lee and Sio Bibble and you had Newt Gunray, and they had lines. So like you put the little chip thing on for Newt Gunray, and be, this is getting out of control. Now there are two of them, and it's just like what kid wants a toy that's just a like gibbering scared alien as it's being attacked by Jedi? Like who's asking for that? Oh man. Yeah, they didn't really do those. Did they do those for episode 2? Val, I don't know if you or anyone else in chat remembers. Did they do those for
They went
episode 2?
insane for episode 1, and to the point where I think everyone got really burnt out for like Star Wars advertising, so they actually really toned it down the next 2.
Yeah.
I actually distinctly remember how like crazy episode 1's merchandising was, and I feel like they actually had to like they toned it down because I feel like people probably complained.
Well, and then they went way too hard for Force Awakens again, and then they had to dial that back because
Yeah.
Force Awakens they had stuff everywhere, and then it just didn't sell. They were like maybe selling the main characters, and there were those few poor souls who like bought all of the new action figures for Force Awakens, but then yeah, for the subsequent stuff, I remember that like a bunch of characters just ended up on the shelves and are now on discount racks.
Yeah.
Oh, Bagel's got a jet for the next 2 hours. BattleBots is on. All right, well be sure to throw me a message later and let me know how it goes. For those who don't know, Bagel regularly and routinely weekly watches BattleBots. So
Have fun.
that's
Bye.
Valtiel, I still got a few of the Micro Machines Action Fleet series from the episode 1 era. Yeah, I remember those actually, Val. We have like a somewhere in one of our like toy bins or something. We have like the diorama sets. So one of them's like the Naboo Swamp, and they came with like the little guys you could put on them. So cool. D Digital, I remember how much Clone Wars Rebels merchandising was available in Smith's Toys here. They had 2 aisles of the stuff. Wow. See, Clone Wars was heavily merchandised. I remember, like at Walmart and stuff like that. But Rebels was it's been weird. It's like sometimes there's tons and other times there's not. And like when there is lots of it, it's usually everything Ezra Bridger. Like it's just like Ezra everywhere. And then for like the now I'm gonna get into talking about the tabletop games, but and the only Rebel stuff that really made it into a lot of the tabletop games was a lot of Sabine Wren stuff. Um, I don't know if anyone in chat plays any of the Star Wars tabletop games. I have the role playing game books, Edge of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, and Force and Destiny, and I run games as like the equivalent of a DM for those. So it's basically Star Wars D&D. Um, but I've got that. I've got Val. You have PDFs of all of those. Nice. Yeah, it's actually a really cool game and a really neat system. It innovates enough on the formula that it's super fun to play, and it's a bit of a gear shift. Um, but the other that I play, I've got Star Wars Legions. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's like their answer to Warhammer. Like it's a tabletop miniature war game, and so you got like little stormtrooper doodles, and you can paint them and stuff. And there's like a whole war game about it. It's really cool. And also, I collected X-wing for a while, so I've got a bunch of like X-wing stuff, a bunch of like Tie fighters, interceptors, X-wings, all kinds of fun stuff. But no, I like the tabletop games made by Fantasy Flight. If you're looking for Star Wars board games or tabletop games, Fantasy Flight Games has the license for all that stuff, and they make some awesome things. They're when it comes to tabletop models, they get greedy, but that's basically every like if you've played Warhammer ever, you know what I'm talking about. Um, but really cool just to even have like models of those things, and luckily those come pre-painted, so you don't have to sit down and cramp your hands trying to get your outer rim striping right on your Tie fighters. But yeah, I love like a lot of the Star Wars stuff that's been coming out that's intended for like older audiences that isn't just following the old toy templates has been really really solid. D Digital, I really want the arcade one up Star Wars pinball table. It's got all the pinball FX digital pinball tables. Really? I was gonna say the Star Wars pinball. I think I played a couple of the like pinball back on my old Xbox for Star Wars, and like there's actually a place here in Ottawa. We live in Ottawa, for those who don't know. There's a place here in Ottawa called House of Targ, and it's kind of like a divey bar that serves like beer and like bar food. But one of the things that's kind of like their big draw is that they have a bunch of arcade cabinets and a bunch of pinball tables, and they have a bunch of like old pinball tables. So you can go there, you can get beer, and you can play some pinball. They got like the older ones. They got like Terminator 2, Judgment Day pinball. They got a couple of other fun ones. Ghostbusters, I think, is one of the tables there. Val said, "Did you ever play any of the Star Wars arcade machines?" No, not in my time. I've
We
mostly
played one at the House of Targ, remember?
yeah. So they played one at the House of Targ, but like not really too much else, and not when they were like super in vogue. But Val, of you, I imagine that question is going to be followed by a yes, you have, and they are exceptional. But Digital, first game I ever played was Atari Star Wars at the arcade in Bogner. That got me into computers and gaming at 7 to 8 years old. Nice, got you early, right? That's how they get you. We got an NES when I was very young. I must have been like, I want to say I was like 4, maybe. And we had an NES. And I liked the NES. I wasn't like as glued to it as I would become to the N64. Shout out to anybody who had N64. And then when
my sorry.
Oh yes, Mai is fantastic. But shout out to anybody in chat who's played Shadows of the Empire on the N64. It was the first time I realized a Star Wars video game could be awesome. I must have played that Snowspeeder level at the very beginning. It's the first level of the game. I must have played it for hours. I loved Empire Strikes Back because I thought that the opening siege on Hoth is so cool. So I just kept replaying over and over again the first 2 levels. Val, I played one in the early 2000s. That was sort of like a flight sim. I remember it being awesome. That sounds awesome. Star Wars flight sims have always been pretty solid, actually. When they go all in on the flight sim thing, because I have a bunch of them on my Steam here. One second, let me take a look. Star Wars. So Star Wars Starfighter was bad. All that being exceptionally bad, but that's because that one was episode 1. So they had to make do with a bunch of the episode 1 isms, and you flew a Naboo Starfighter. But there's like Star Wars X-Wing. I'm trying to remember. There was like a TIE Fighter one, and there was an X-Wing one, and those were really solid. And that's why everyone got so excited about Star Wars Squadrons, is because Squadrons is kind of the spiritual successor. And if you haven't played Squadrons and you can find it for relatively cheap, the multiplayer against AI at least is a lot of fun. It's like, just if you need something to scratch that Star Wars itch, I can't recommend it enough. It's even better if you have friends to play it with, though, especially if those friends are less than great at flying. Because then your radio chatter, instead of just being your team just calling out, "Yep, I've got this one," or "No, I'm going to do that," it turns into a lot more panicked screaming, being like, "I forgot to invert my controls, no!" So you get a lot more of a Jack Porkins vibe, a little bit less of the Zen Luke Skywalker use the Force. But yeah, no, I'm trying to remember though if do we have any? Because we had an Atari 2600. I just don't think that we had any of the Star Wars games for it. We had like Berserk, and we had a bunch of like sports ones too. A couple of the like wargamey ones, but Atari was always. I actually wrote a paper for university because I took history in university, so I actually wrote a paper on the history of like video games and the Atari 2600 and Atari as a company. So Atari was a cool stepping stone, but going back to those games now, you can see that they're a little bit on the weedier side. But yeah. Yup. I was D-Digital. I was basically all home computers until Mega Drive Genesis, and I went from that. I went to a PlayStation, had Rebel Assault 1 and 2, Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadron's great. We also had that one on the N64, and Mega Drive Genesis, it's super good that that dorkiness is getting back because my family we didn't have a Genesis, but dorkiness grew up with one.
Yeah, I had the
So
Genesis. That was
and
my
that's
thing. I played a lot of Sonic. Sonic
a lot
2.
of Sonic. Is this
Sonic
where you
2.
talk about your time as a as your brief period where you were engaged with the Sonic community?
No, because people are like, take that the wrong way. I was in a
Well, now
normal
they're
community that wasn't a bunch of weirdos because this was like a long time ago before it got really weird. And we got invaded by weirdos. What were your favorite Genesis games? I played Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine a lot, and I was really good at it. Like, really good. Like, that's the one I remember. Because I really like puzzle games, so those are my favorite. And then Sonic 1, we had... I'm trying to remember all
I'll
the
be
games.
back in a second. I'm gonna make myself some root beer.
Root beer. We had Aladdin and Lion King and like those games too, so I played those a lot. But I really remember Mean Bean Machine being like my fave, because it was a fun little puzzle game that was like a knockoff of something. And after that, we got an N64, and my favorite game on that was Paper Mario. And I have all the Paper Marios, which is really fun. Well, all the ones on console, I think. I don't think they made one for the Wii U, right? Anyway. What did I miss while I was gone? Were we talking about game systems is what I gather? Home computers until Mega Drive, Genesis, and the PlayStation. Yeah, we had a Genesis, then we had an N64, then we got a PS2, and then a Wii / 360. Yeah. And then I moved in with Ramble, and we have an Xbox One, and we have like a PS2, PS3, we have the Wii, we have the Switch, we have what is it, like the NES Mini. We have way too many game systems. And I have like a little like card, what's it called? Like a capture card. I gotta figure out how to put it up so I can maybe play some Switch games sometime. But I just don't have the technical know-how to do it, and I kind of figured it out but kind of couldn't, and it's kind of like sometimes it's hard because I'm tired a lot. So it's like, oh, I should do this while I'm not streaming and doing stuff, but it's like I just want to lay down. Yeah, I feel like I'm like losing years and being sad. I don't know what to put into Joey's deck. I just kind of keep putting the same things that are strong into decks, and I don't think that's maybe the best, or not Joey's deck, into Mai's deck. Man. Anywho. So, yeah. All I've got now is the Xbox Series S, which is great for what it is, and a PS3 collecting dust. I did have one of those multi-system console systems that play a load of different cards. That got expensive collecting card games in today's market. Yeah, it's kind of wild how expensive cartridges are. I'd like, obviously, like especially the good ones, and like people know the value of them, right? Like it's wild. We have a Genesis we got for Christmas, and I love it, but sometimes buying the cartridge games are like surprisingly expensive. I'm still playing as Joey. Polarizing, I do not know how Yu-Gi-Oh works. That is totally fine. I don't either. I just put decks together and hope that they are somewhat cohesive, and then go from there, to be honest. My strategy is punchy punch, and the chat can tell you that it's not the best strategy. Retro game prices are absurd right now. Like, and for some of the games, like, it's surprising to me. Like, games that aren't even that good. Like, we went to get a bunch of Genesis games, and it really caught me off guard. Like the games I know that were, like, mass-produced, not rare. Like, I think they were asking, like, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog's good, but was it Sonic the Hedgehog 1 or 2 came with every Genesis? So there's so many cartridges, and they're still asking, like, you know, like, I think it was like $10 where we were looking, and I was like, this is a bit overpriced. And then, yeah, once you get into, like, So when we were saying he has a Game Boy Micro that he got for Christmas last year, and he was saying how he wanted to get Fire Emblem games, but just they're so expensive, like the good ones for the Game Boy,
I am
right?
back.
Like it's just not affordable to get the cartridges. So if you get the those, what are they called? We talked the fancy things where you put the SD card and you get the games in, like it's just so much more affordable, right? We're talking about how expensive cartridges are. EverDrive, thank you,
Have
Valtil.
you?
I'm getting tired. I don't know how much. I might have to stop doing this soon. I'm crashing hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't nap
I mean,
earlier, right? So I couldn't sleep.
I did nap, so.
You are smarter than I am, but I just was not in a napping mood.
No, that's fair.
Dorian, though, you should make a Duel Links account and duel, and we can go in the duel room and duel each other. It'll be totally wicked. Let's watch Random's duel. It'll be also if anyone.
Yeah. What do you think? Call it a stream soon.
Yeah, not next week.
Going for 2 hours and a bit.
Yeah. It's been a chaotic stream. I'm sorry, everyone.
You've all been on a journey with us.
I was like, oh, I'll do a Star Wars game, and the Star Wars game I picked is way too much for the computer, so I can't stream it. I should have just went with Star Wars Lego. But I don't.
Next time we will do Lego Star Wars.
I'm being cheap, so I'm trying not to buy games. So.
Well, we have so much to play. We
know.
both still have to play meaningfully, like a meaningful amount of Cyberpunk.
Yeah, and I have so many on my Steam. I just don't have Star Wars. Like I could have done the free-to-play one, but
Then you would have been learning another MMO.
yeah, right. Like I want just something to run around and punch.
No, the upside of doing the MMO though would be that because it's free to play, we'd be able to sucker some of chat into joining us on the adventure.
Cool. We should do Overcooked.
Yes, we should.
That's what we should have done.
Did you get a chance to mention to them when talking about retro game prices being insane about your Maximum Carnage find?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Too bad that the person who was all about Carnage yesterday isn't around. I went to this is before the plague occurred. I think I said this yesterday. I love flea markets. Like I go to flea markets all the time. I went to flea markets all the time. Obviously, haven't done that in months, which is breaking my heart. Year because they don't really operate in the winter, and then when they're supposed to come back, they were canceled. So I go to a flea market in Ottawa. It's called the 613 Flea. It's awesome, and I'm there, and there's a booth that has like video games, and I'm like kind of looking, and I look up and I see the Sega Genesis version of Maximum Carnage for sale with a sticker that says $20 on it. So
in the case, no less.
In the case, yeah. And so I'm like, okay, so it's probably. So I don't know how much you guys know about Maximum Carnage, but it was a game released. It's famous for being the first comic book game that's released based on a series of comics. Prior to that, all comic book games were just general Spider-Man, whatever.
Original stories, stuff like that.
So this one's specifically to do, it's loosely based, we say, because it's still like a punch 'em up, but it's based on the Maximum. I'm saying Maximum, is that right? Maximum, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having a moment. I'm like, what's the new Carnage one? That's Absolute. Anyway, so Maximum Carnage. It sounds like a score and a half. Yeah. So it says $20, and so they did a release, and so they have one that has, and it was also released on the SNES. And so they did a release that has a red cartridge, and then they did a re-release, I believe, that has just like the normal colored cartridge.
Regular gray or black cartridge.
So I'm like, okay, obviously for $20, because like the red cartridge ones in good condition can go, I mean, it depends on the set and the rarity and whatever, but can go from anywhere to 40 to like in the hundreds. I'm like, clearly this is a black cartridge, but I've always wanted this game, so I might just go for it. I calmly but it's so funny. So I get all excited, and I remember there's like a guy like looking at other games on the table, and I'm trying to like get up before him just in case, like as if he even cares, like he's not even looking at Max Carnage. But it's that joke from The Simpsons when Homer sees the trampoline and he runs Hans Moleman off the road, like that trampoline is mine, right? Like I kind of like push
Trampoline.
So I kind of like pushed through the guy, like I was a huge dick, because I'm so excited. I'm just like, "Bleh," and then I pick it up and I'm like, okay. Open it up. It's a red cartridge in beautiful condition. Like the cartridge has no damage.
Really good condition.
Because a lot of the cartridges that are cheaper have damage on them. The case is
usually
like,
from pricing stickers or things like that that have been put on the stickering on the cartridge. So like when people tore them off because they wanted to give them as a gift or whatever, they tore the label, and so you end up with some pretty janky cartridges that people are still asking big money for.
so yeah, and it has the case itself is in pretty good condition. There's some like kind of rippling at the top, but whatever. Like it's a 30-something-year-old game, I think, at this point, or at least like almost 30.
It's old.
And so I'm like, okay, like that's fine. But what really caught me off guard was it had the original manual. It had water damage. Like it was crumpled too, but it's still the original manual was in it. And I'm like, and I look at the guy and I'm like, does this work? And the guy's like, yeah. And I'm like, why are you charging only $20? This is worth more than $20. And the guy, like, I'm great at flea markets. Like, I'm really good at flea markets, guys. So I'm like, why are you charging only $20? This is definitely worth more than $20. He's like, oh, well, that NES or the Sega Genesis, that was when the Sega Genesis Classic was coming out.
The mini, yeah.
The mini, and he was like, oh, well, I don't know what games are going to be on it, even though they were released already, so that weirded me out, but whatever. He's like, I don't know what games are going to be on it, so I figured this value will probably go down. Sure. And I just like go in my wallet and I'm just like, here's $20, and I like
take my money.
Yeah, literally like here, like I shove it into his hand. And it was funny because he's like, oh, if it doesn't work, here's my card, you'll get like a full refund. And I was like, oh no, I don't care if it doesn't work. And he like looked at me, I was insane. But I'm like, for $20 to get the case manual and the cartridge is amazing.
You're at least going to be charged in like bad condition. You're at least being charged $40 for all three of those things.
Well, and being in Canada, right? Like I'd have to pay shipping. So even if because you can look online and there's some ones that are like 20 to 5 or 20 to 30, but then you have to pay $20 shipping. So I'm like, this is a fucking great deal. Yeah, reading old game manuals is amazing. Especially, I think my favorite generation of game manuals was the N64. I think that actually had the best game manuals.
They're so colorful.
They were beautiful. Like the manual for Paper Mario, I would just sit and read as a kid. Like I knew how to play that game so well. Like loved that game with everything, but I would just sit there and look at the manual because it was so beautiful to look at. Like I don't know, there's something so like I think
I don't know if I was gonna say I don't know if Chad ever did this, but I remember because old game manuals used to be so like robust and have so much in them. I remember I used to sneak them into my backpack to take them to school and read them at school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if everyone else is that, or if that's just me being like weirdly over obsessed with games. But no, I used to take I think one of the first ones I ever took with me. Like on a regular basis would have been back when I was in like public school, and it was the manual for Morrowind, the old Elder Scrolls 3. And that's because the Elder Scrolls 3 manual, if no one in chat's seen it, it had definitions and like lore about all of the classes, all of the like
King.
spells.
Hi, Frost for King. Are you the same person? I ask this every time. They always arrive together. Hello.
But yeah, so like the old Elder Scrolls manual had like all the spell definitions. It had like history of the world. So it was like basically a mini fantasy book, right? And I just like poured over it. I love the Elder Scrolls games. So. But no, the old manuals, they were like in color. They were all like really, really vibrant, bright. And then I remember, I think it was you who got like, I think you were telling me about a time when you got like a DS game or something, and it didn't come with a manual, and you were like devastated at the fact that like manuals were no longer a thing.
That sounds like me.
Because even on PlayStation 2, they had some pretty cool like flashy manuals.
I got a like on the Twitter. Thank you.
Nice.
Oh man. Activate effect. Yeah, no, I don't remember what game that would have been, but I definitely know what you're talking.
Switch games don't have manuals. Feels bad, man. Yep. Yep, and the Switch games are also like vibrant. The art style's so unique for them. Like Breath of the Wild not having a manual, weak. I remember I really enjoyed the one for if anybody played Minish Cap on the Game Boy Advance. The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap manual was all really pretty and colorful too.
Yeah, no, I miss manuals, and like I think I was complaining about the Switch games because some of them need manuals. like some of them, I'm like, I need a manual. I guess there
Even
are.
just to remind you of some of the controls, so you don't have to like press every button, and because I know that's the problem with you returning to like Luigi's Mansion, is like it's not that it didn't teach you how to do the stuff; it's that it never taught you again.
I can't remember anything. I was like, I don't know where I am, what I'm doing.
The old people memory thing coming back to haunt us again.
I have bad memory. Switch games out of manuals feels bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was reading was it does. It sucks. Manuals were like it's gonna be so weird to live in a future and eventually like have kids and stuff in a future where like their experience with games will just be so different from
And
ours.
like when you look up games, like how to do stuff, it feels like you're cheating. Like I know
Yeah.
walkthroughs existed, but like indie manual printing company that makes manuals for games that don't have them, that would be. Oh, do you guys want to hear my fun fact? There's an awesome. Okay, I think you know exactly what I'm gonna say. There's an awesome YouTube video. I cannot remember.
Do you need me to look something up?
Sorry, one sec. I was just thinking to play that card. So there was a YouTube video we watched that talks about Blockbuster and how when they were trying to rent video games, Nintendo basically like went through all this trouble to. Oh, I wasted that. Anyway, that sucks. Okay. So. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. So anyway, Nintendo doesn't want Blockbuster to rent out video games, right? So they're like trying to figure out a way, but the problem is the way the American law is written, they're not breaking the rules by renting it out. Like they're totally acting within their rights. So what Nintendo finds out is happening is Blockbuster, because of the way that like early video games were, like you had to have a manual. Like there was no tutorial. Like I don't know the age of our chat, but like if anyone remembers those days, like you just were in the game, right? Like for a lot of these games, like when you start Sonic the Hedgehog, you're just playing Sonic the Hedgehog. There's no like learning.
Oh, see you, Dorian.
Bye, Dorian.
Thanks
Thanks for popping by and hanging out. Love you. So
I found the video. If anybody wants to know, I'll throw it into the Discord after the stream's done. But it's Nintendo versus Video Game Rentals by the Gaming Historian.
Yeah. And so
it's a 13-minute video, nice short watch, but it's really fun. Anyway,
yeah, so basically what happens is like, so you needed these manuals to play these games. Like you needed them. So, and like they would try including the original manual, but the problem is they'd always get lost. Like always get lost. Someone takes them on the package, doesn't put it back in. It's hard to maintain. So what Blockbuster started doing was they started photocopying the manuals and putting black and white versions into each game, right? So that they would keep the original manual and then just add a photocopied version, which is fine, but which worked for Blockbuster. But the issue was Nintendo is like money in the like. Oh, thank you, D Digital, for this. That's so exciting.
D Digital, thank you for the sub.
Thank you. And I'm actually allowed to say sub because it was a sub. Because I was getting
she gets them confused sometimes, but this time she got it right. No, thank you, thank you, D Digital.
So much. So
thank you for being here for the stream.
Yeah, thank you. So as I was saying, so Nintendo is like dollar signs in their eyes because those are copyrighted, and them reproducing it is hella illegal. Like and including it in the rental. And so they actually sued Blockbuster for a copyright violation, which is really interesting, I think. And it was a big thing, and it went to court. And I don't remember the result, but it's interesting because a lot of people think Nintendo. Like I mean, I have a Switch. I have a bunch of Nintendo games, but everyone's like, oh, Nintendo's like the best of the three kind of thing, like the best video game company. It's like they have done a lot to hurt gaming. I'm gonna get a ping from like lawyers. Twitch is like, no more streaming. But it's a really interesting video. I recommend watching it. It was absolutely fascinating for me. How do I synchro summon a monster, guys?
You're synchro summoning?
I need to synchro summon. How will
so
I
you
do
need
that?
to have a tuner and a non-tuner monster as well as a synchro monster in your extra deck. Like it's actually, you may want to just do the tutorial for
Is
it.
there
Like
a
go into
tutorial?
there should be one in the duel trials. So
Where?
just like look through the duel quizzes.
Old man front, birthright, graveyard, fuse with a trap card. Fusion summon? Nope.
No, you want synchro.
Activate. Synchro might be level 3 that I can't do. Special summon. Blue eyes synchro?
Blue Eye Synchro, there you go.
Oops.
Um,
Let's see if we can cheat the system, guys.
Let's see here. D Digital big box PC games with ring-bound manuals that were the size of a phone book. Hang on. Oh, D Digital. If you're talking about Neverwinter Nights, I'm gonna lose my shit because that manual was massive. It was huge, and it came with like the game came with like a fabric map of the like game world. It was just a regular edition, none of this deluxe edition, super whatever, extra expensive. But it had like one of those like ring bound like manuals, and I think it was like 200 pages or something. Oh man, old school Neverwinter Nights. For anybody who was listening to the chat about D&D last night, Neverwinter Nights is like the OG. I guess Baldur's Gate would be the OG. D Digital. Oh, yeah, flight simulators. Yeah, they came with like textbook sized ones, right? Like they were big because a bunch of it was about like fine tuning and instrument reading and like they would have entries in different chapters for each one of the different types of planes.
But
Some
did
of
I
the
mess
flight
up?
simulators would have different planes.
I might have messed
Sorry.
up. Did I mess-
Click on one of them. What's their effect? This card is normal summon, special summon one effect monster.
I'm just gonna.
You target one effect monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and
Yep.
if you do, special summon a blue eyes.
Yep,
Okay, so that's
and then I'm good. Yeah, I got it.
yeah. D Digital. It's basically the manual for the real aircraft. Well, that's
Thank you,
probably
Valtia.
why so many people. I don't know if you remember this being a thing, but or if you do dorkiness, but back in the '90s, there were people who had learned how to fly planes, or there, I guess even in the aughts, they learned how to fly planes on flight simulators because things like
They were so
Microsoft
specific.
Flight Simulator, they were so intense and so like pixel perfect physics accurate to how like all of the readouts would actually process the info that you could theoretically learn how to pilot an aircraft like a small like Cessna aircraft from Microsoft Flight Simulator. And so yeah, the manual was basically the manual for the real aircraft in a lot of ways. You're absolutely right.
Murder. Teach you. Most schools you go to for a private pilot's license teach you on X-plane.
Huh. So
That's one thing I would never do. Learn.
and they used to
fly a
hide the
plane.
copy protection in the manual, and you would have to use a code wheel to find the code on a random page to play. Oh my lord. I was gonna say that. So this is your
Can I do it?
D Digital's talking about a very interesting time in gaming
Oh.
as well. I'm sure everybody ran into this at some. Oh, does it not
It didn't
count
work.
in trials?
No.
Oh, boo.
That's okay.
But there's a very interesting time in video games when CD keys and things like that were like impossible. Like they made it so hard to find like activation keys, or it would be like in the like late 90s it was like register or email with this platform and then they will send you an email like manually because they didn't have automatic like email bots set up, right? So to be you'd email them and then whenever a physical person got to the computer on their end, they would email you back a code, but the code wouldn't be the one you'd use the code to find the code in the book that you had for the game. and it's just like the like DRM that back then, like it's almost as bad as like DRM these days. I don't know if anybody here ever played Chronicles of Riddick: Assault on Dark Athena, but that was when DRM got way out of hand
Is Carl
because
Urban in that game?
Let's have ourselves a duel.
no, he's not. But
Sorry.
the DRM for the game was set so that
Did
you
I
could
not
only
change my
install the
deck?
game 3 times. The game was rad, and Escape from Butcher Bay was cool too, right, Val? But for Assault on Dark Athena, the DRM like made it so that if you it had 3 uses, and then the game would lock, so you could install it on 3 devices in the entire lifespan of the game, and then you would lose the game, like you wouldn't have it anymore. And it was just like it was so overreaching and so like draconian to be like, you've paid to effectively have an activation key for 3 devices, but never again. It's like,
Though the worst DRM was the Sony CDs that installed
yeah,
malware into your computer.
yeah.
I have one. I have one of those. I'd say. I think the Foo Fighters, the one that has the best.
It's a good song, but yeah, the DRM was BS. BS.
It wasn't the best. It was BS. BS. Anyway, dumb joke. I know.
I really like the new Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's even got animals running around in the wilderness. Really? And yeah, the rootkits on CDs suck balls. Yeah.
Well, that was like a whole thing, and I remember. I think what happened with our computer, because I tried to rip that Foo Fighters album, and it's just that our computer was too crappy, so it just would crash. So because it couldn't install the malware.
That's funny. They're like, we're gonna mess up your computer here. Like, not if my computer's too shitty to be messed up.
Yeah. Nice fucking try.
I see your attempt and raise you a crash.
Whatever your reason for
What do I want to eat? I'm realizing all I've had to eat is the poutine. Can't I have poutine again? That was a weird accent I was putting on the poutine there. Poutine. Maybe I'll make spaghetti.
Pronounce it phonetically.
Anaphysis on the ring syllable, as my father would say.
Copy protected CDs were a pain in the ass for DJs as well, as they would not play properly. Cannot install on toaster. Yeah, exactly right. He's got like some old potato PC, and it's just like, look, we can't even fuck this up because it's already so fucked up.
Well, that was like the joke. So, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. There was a bank in Canada that got hacked, and a bunch of accounts got compromised. And one of my accounts, like I had an account with them that got compromised, and it was an overdraft. So like they couldn't have taken money had they wanted to, right? So it was funny because it was like, oh, they were unable to take any money from you. I was like, yeah, no shit. Like,
Yeah.
right?
Luckily, it appears they did not take any funds from you. It's like, what funds?
Made me laugh. Okay, when this card is normal summon, you can add 1 level light turner monster from your deck to your hand, except you can discard this card, then target 1, send it to the graveyard, do special summon Blue Eyes monster from your deck. Okay, so I can do I normal summon and then activate effect? Does it matter? I can do both, right? Well, no, I'd want to normal
so
summon first.
the normal summon activates the effect to grab 1 light tuner monster from your deck.
Which I need because I want to synchro summon.
And then you can't discard the card for its effect because it's not in your hand anymore. Discard is from your hand. Oh, we got Ghost Nova 456. You should normal summon Karibo. Summon Karibo, then use Sage on Karibo. So Ghost Nova, welcome, and coming in hot with the recommends.
Wait, why the Kariba's gonna die? Oh no, he's saying right now. Okay.
Yeah, you're saying you can use the effect. Yeah.
Well, that would get Blue Eyes, but then I need my tuner monster still.
Yeah, so Ghost Nova, very, very good advice. She's actually, though, trying to get a synchro summon for her bingo card. That's the only reason she's having a dilemma here.
No, you're right. I'll normal summon Karibo. I'll do that, and then I'll get the Blue Eyes. But I just was trying to, I guess, and then I'll just have to wait and hope that I get a tuner. I don't have a lot.
No,
of...
this hand isn't the hand. Yeah. No, it's gonna be tricky because her deck's not built solely around
I
synchro
was just
summoning,
hoping
right?
I'd get lucky.
So.
All right, so fine. I'll normal summon this guy. Right, and then I activate effect is what I'm doing, right?
Give me back. I'm getting a drink.
No, don't leave me. Okay. Normal summon. I'm really, really, really good. I'm getting better. I think if we were to like compare me to a week and a bit ago, I'm sure chat can agree that I am getting better. Oh my gosh, how do you say that? Thlolhan is now following. Thank you for the follow. Name I cannot pronounce, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Alright, though. No. It really doesn't matter. Let's do the shiny blue eyes. Confirm. Alright. Yes, do that. Alright, I think I might have to attempt to change the deck in order to synchro. I want to get my bingo sheet. That's all I want to do.
I'm back.
You're back. That was forever. Don't ever leave.
You'll see how much stronger I am.
Attack. No, stop. I don't even know what. Okay, anyway. Then wait for another tuner. Yes. I guess I can
That's
just.
the plan.
I can just. What is that noise? Cheered? What? What? That's exciting. Something happened. Ghosts are cheered. Thank you. Yay! It's my first cheer. And a follow. Thank you for the follow. Yay! I'm
welcome,
really new. Like,
I was gonna say, Ghost Nova. If you can't tell, she's been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for exactly 1 week. So
thank you.
that's
More cheers! Yay! So exciting.
You saw what the newest ones are, right? The little corgis.
Oh my God, they're corgos. You're doing great. Whenever you hit a new mechanic, always takes getting used to. Valtiel, you are like so nice.
So
I'm
supportive.
so grateful I have you. Oh my God! Yay! More cheers! Thank you, D Digital. Yay! I'm so happy.
Yeah, Ghost Nova. If you're wondering why I'm present as a disembodied voice, it's I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a fair while, but we're trying to get my better half well enough
That's
versed.
me.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's just some other person.
But yeah, I have a bit of experience, but some of the new stuff is still a little new to me. I'm still figuring out Ixie's summons myself, and which ones are powerful and which ones are just kind of.
Hey! Hey! Sorry! That's a tuner. Sorry, anyway, keep going.
There's a lot of exciting things happening.
Hey, this has been a really good 2 minutes.
Valtiel, it's fucking got him.
Okay, so I normal summon, right? And then I can synchro.
Yes,
Okay.
it needs to be on the field to synchro
Perfect.
unless the
Just
synchro
making
monster
sure.
says something otherwise.
If there's anything you need to know that he doesn't just ask. Oh, don't you worry. I ask the chat for everything.
Oh yeah, Ghost Nova, like that's if you see other people participating, D Digital, Val, we had Apocryphal Bagel in here earlier. There's a couple regulars from the week that have been incredibly helpful. in
But we
walking
welcome
through this.
more, trust me.
We welcome
The
all of
more
these
the better. So.
any and all. That's kind of what this stream is it's just we keep voice chat to just us two, only to keep it calmed down, just because at certain times we're getting like 7 to 10 people going in chat, so could have activated Assault Wyvern, Summon Dragon, Spirit of White.
Well, the
Valtiel,
issue
yes,
was more
welcome
the
on info.
tuner than anything, right? That was the issue was.
She's not even in this duel to win. She just wants the
I just
synchro
want the
summon so
synchro
she
summon.
can finish
But
her
I
bingo
guess
card.
no, you're right, because I could have put it down as a tuner is what he's saying, and then use the wyvern and some. But don't they have to be in my graveyard for the wyvern to summer them?
Summer them?
Some.
Mouth stopped working.
I guess no, you're right, because it was in my hand. I think I could summon from my hand. You guys are so much better at this than I am. Okay.
I was gonna say, Ghost Nova, I haven't come up against anything Ixie summon wise that's like stumping me presently. Most of what it is I have a propensity to build decks around style over actually like good things. So like I have an ocean deck that I'm running, like a legendary ocean deck, and some of my Ixie stuff is like Vigishki Marrow Geist, which does not handshake or synergize with anything else in the deck. I just think it looks cool. So it's more about figuring out what's actually useful and doesn't just look cool.
This is my last sheet. Okay.
Thunder Dragon Stopgap.
We could get a room going if people want to play.
Yeah, usually for anyone who's new, we usually start up. We were thinking this stream was going to be a Star Wars kind of variety stream today, but the Star Wars game was not handshaking well with our streaming, so we went back to Duel Links. Normally, though, the way it runs is we will set up a duel room at the outset of the stream, and then just pop the room code in the top left, and then have people kind of just hang out and duel each other and chat. Like if you're in chat and you're test out deck types and stuff like that, then you can roll with that. But today we're a little delayed doing that because again was intended to be Star Wars themed, and then it got away from us.
All right.
Star Wars, I can't play because the servers are too full. Ghost Nova, are you talking about so you're trying to hop onto Old Republic, or are you talking about something else?
Oh, can I go on when you get that answer? Can I go
Battlefront 2,
on?
gotcha.
Oh, because the game was free. So that might be why.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Oh, look at us putting it all together.
Because Epic did it for free, so I'm probably...
Epic gave it away for free, so that's probably where all the influx is coming from.
But
just play Squadrons instead.
Yeah.
Or Fallen Order.
I was gonna. We watched Dread yesterday. The 2012 one with Carl Urban. And speaking of Star Wars, Domhnall Gleeson's in it.
Yeah, I did not know that that Hux himself is in Dread.
Yeah, so
barely recognizable, but
it was funny actually because I was like, "That's Domhnall Gleeson," and you're like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "No, it is." And I looked him up, and I was like, "It is." But and then also interesting fact. So some of you might know we love the movie Doom.
Yep. that movie Doom. It's exactly the one you're thinking of that has Huck. Yeah, that one.
Ghost, if you're fighting me, the only thing I ask is you don't one turn kill me. You can win and you can have like a good deck. Just maybe don't one turn kill me because that's mean. that's all. But anyway, so we watched. And so the fun fact with Dread is if anyone's seen Dread and anyone's seen Doom. Carl Urban, of course, is Dread, and then Carl Urban is Reaper in Doom. And then one of the earlier characters you meet in Dread is the medic, TJ, and that is Destroyer from Doom. So it's there's another movie they did together. The one with the rock, yeah, that's Doom.
Yeah, the one where he says, "Semper Fi, motherfucker." That one, the one that has that terrible line that's simultaneously also a great line.
I'm always okay with a second kill, like if you kill me on the
second turn kill is fine.
Yeah, I just asked for not the first.
I want chat to know that there are repercussions. And Ghost Nova, if you're wondering about the OTK, I mentioned in chat right there, Ghost Nova, it's that you will get a frowny face, but that's it. That's the extent of the punishment you'll receive.
I don't doubt you can. That's why we always say we just ask that you don't. You guys can do it to each other. I don't care. I just ask. I don't get it.
Oh yeah,
it would make me sad.
The frowny face for FTK OTK. What if you want the frowning face? That's actually touche. We haven't really come to that bridge before now. That's
yeah. We're not gonna ban you or anything. We're just gonna be. I'm just gonna be sad. Like.
Yeah, it's just it'll be a frowny sad face. But I guess if you want the frowny sads, then go for it. I don't. You've caught me way off guard, Ghost.
Aw, dang it.
Ooh, spicy defender.
I end my turn.
It's okay.
It's my
Oh,
turn.
he's doing a Luna light stick. Is that what we are doing? Oh, before we go, I should probably open up another pack and see if I get any more tins.
T
Activate a spell.
TL Hohen, is this a new person in chat?
Yeah, they followed a bit ago. Hi, how's it going?
Yeah,
It's going good. Thanks
was
for
gonna say-
following. I don't know
Yeah,
how to
Hohen,
say your
if you
name.
want to tell us, I was gonna say, Hohen, if you want to tell us what you want your handle to be, or like how we say your name, please do. Correct us. We love being corrected.
It is going well though.
Nova, I don't know that she's come up against or come across any pendulum or link stuff yet.
I fusion summon monster.
Oh. Pendulums and links will likely be further down in the dual tutorials and stuff. Hoenn, perfect. Then that is what we shall call you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Oh, we should see if we can find like a bad rip of Sonic 06 for you to play on stream.
Why? I don't. Why would I torture myself?
Oh, are they not in Duel Links yet? Good to know. Yeah, I haven't played much Duel Links really. I got hopped onto it around the same time Dorkiness did. I play mostly Legacy of the Duelist, Link Evolution. So Hoenn wants you to know if you have any questions about Duel Links to let them know.
Oh, don't you worry, chat. I will tell you as soon as they come up. Don't you
She
worry
will
for 1 second.
desperately ask chat for clarification on things if there is something that is not understood. Do not worry. That is that is the whole point here.
I don't know what I'm doing. We're just gonna let that go.
Yeah, Nova, I understand links. I understand links are no longer what they were. I know for a while there they pretty heavily impacted the extra deck and your ability to summon synchros, ixies, and fusions. But I know that's changed now to the point where links just kind of do link effects. And pendulums, I mean, when you link, yeah. Yeah, no, I remember, I was gonna say, I remember playing for a bit when you needed link monsters and stuff, so I had to splash some, like, non-archetypal link monsters into my deck, just so that I had some way of getting my extra deck on the field. But Pendulum, I know how they work in theory, I just have no decks that require them to be run. So I haven't built any decks around them in like Link Evolution, and I haven't come up against any yet. But I think I will because Link Monsters. What series did they get introduced in Ghost Nova? Do you remember? Was it Vrains, Arc V? Brains. Okay. Well, no, I know that there's what is it? Pendulum. There's like a Pendulum Sorcerer deck that was popular for a while. 1 second.
Oh no, did I freeze?
I don't think so.
Now, my monster attacks.
Yeah, so no, yeah, no, but I know that can't
don't
like the
know
the
why
point
I
isn't
did
to
that.
build an entire deck out of Pendulum monsters. It was more so that they were kind of a staple for a couple of deck builds. But again, it was in a time when I wasn't really like playing the physical card game as much, so I was just
I
like
don't know
pendulums.
why I
Those
did
look
that.
neat. And then just went back to playing quick draw plants as I was.
Whatever. We'll just go with it. Whoops!
I'm gonna give that one a whoopsie doopsie.
I draw.
Salt wyvern. So, okay. So this guy isn't as powerful as Blue Eyes. Anyway. So I don't know if he's worth
Yeah,
synchro
I was gonna
summoning.
say the upside of that though is that you can pull from your graveyard. I think yeah.
Which one?
I
Left
don't.
or right? Quick, quick, quick. Left or right?
Chat left or right?
Left or right, Seven? Okay, I'm going right.
First person.
Oh my gosh. Damn it. Okay. Change to attack. Okay, and I guess I just attack. Do Assault Wyvern. And we're going to battle. And I don't think this is going to work really well, but we're going for it.
Do it live.
Confirm.
Slice and dice, assault wyvern.
Go. Thank you. And then
Not so
I
bad.
knew it.
Here's my face down card. My trap activates.
I don't know
Blue
what
eyes,
just
white
happened.
dragon. Attack.
Scary.
White,
I knew it! They're up to something.
Ghost Nova's recommending authorize in defense mode.
I took defense.
I'll get you for this.
Well, I'm dead now, so. I don't even know what they're. Ah!
You'll pay for this.
Oh, I put shit. Whatever.
Early in my
It's
turn.
over.
I draw.
Really weird seeing Seto Kaiba with a Luna Lights deck. I just want to say.
Watch closely. I summon a
Because they're so
monster
fluffy and pretty, and he's not normally so fluffy
He's
and
not
pretty.
fluffy or pretty.
My monster's effect activates.
But he could be, and that's what matters.
I'll be next to Blue streamer.
My monster's effect activates.
Oh my god, stop. Just
Stab.
go. Oh my god. And I think that'll be it for the evening for me after.
After you duel Ghost Nova.
Yeah, because my back's
I
hurting.
attack with a monster.
Do I have Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon? I have a lot of Blue Eyes. I can't even keep track. Yes.
Ghost Nova and Hoenn are disagreeing on the dream ticket usage. Okay, so this has been a contentious issue. Excuse me, all week is the like usage of tickets because there are people who have burned them on things that you shouldn't have, and then there are people who are like, oh, you gotta save them until just before they expire and then pick out what you're gonna do because you never know what you're gonna need. And then you got people being like, no, you gotta get the key pieces you need right now.
Wait, are you
So-
already saying GG?
I'll get you for this.
Is it over? It's just not showing on my end? Yes. No?
My monster attacks.
I'm
Maybe?
I'm confused. Ah!
And no, I don't believe. I think Dorkiness has used a couple of the tickets
why did I
that
do
she's
that?
gotten from the event, but I don't
I
think
should've
that
did that.
she's received. I don't think
Ah.
she's burned any of
No,
like the
stop, stop, stop.
specialty tickets.
Completed another flawless turn.
So,
I draw.
what is going on your end?
Ah! I'm running out of time.
I activate
Panic.
Panic. I'm just pressing buttons. I don't know what I just did.
You just tributed your maiden to take
Oh.
control of their thing and
Oh,
stuff,
we got
and
it.
then they countered, and
It's okay. Normal
Come
summon.
on out. I summon a monster.
This is going not as terrible as I expected, so. Battle!
Let's battle.
Attack! Quick! Quick! I'm running out of time.
White lightning.
I'm like sweating.
Is that
This is some white knuckle dueling.
This is the card that never dies. And turn 13 seconds. Ah!
I end my turn.
I should have done the other one. It's okay, guys. I'm learning. We're learning. So I'm just anything purple I don't touch is what I'm learning here. Yeah, I can't beat it. I know.
Yeah. We have learned it in the object lesson of Blue Eyes hitting it in the face and it still being there.
Yeah. You know what?
To
I'm lasting
much to
longer.
our dismay. Ooh, pretty.
Pulverize you.
I will destroy you. What's the Drew McIntyre thing?
I will eviscerate you. I will disfigure you.
Disfigure. That was the thing. It would drive me nuts. I was like, you're not gonna disfigure him. Get it together, Drew. You know what? That lasted longer than I thought it was. GG. GG. Good game. Thank you.
All right, and
Alright.
final duel of the evening is against. Is this you, Ghost Nova? I assume.
I hope so. It says Nova in the name.
Nice.
If not,
This
it's
one's
like
Terra Nova. Is this your like angrier evil twin?
he is
Who's like
Alan Kessler.
really good at dueling?
I knew a person with the last name Kessler. They did not play Yu-Gi-Oh. You're gonna watch me
You're gonna
bully a newbie. Everyone will be really impressed by you bullying a newbie that clearly doesn't know what she's doing. That'll be really cool.
No, it's fine. I remember my favorite episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh were watching people trounce Taya in duels.
Right? Like
Fate have in store for me.
Everyone remembers the iconic duels.
when you're done this, are you gonna go pick on a 6-year-old?
Or your brother Mokuba, perhaps.
Yeah. No one likes Mokuba.
Go beat up Yugi's grandfather, maybe.
Normal summon, I guess.
I'll write that down on my list. Oh, you've got a full schedule of malfeasance planned?
And then
That was a bad call. I flip
Right,
over
it
the
is just like
center.
ranking.
I
Ghost Nova's
activate
just
continuous
ranking like
fire.
bad stuff. It's like, well, I've got kick kittens at 2. And then I just can't put in any more bullying. I've penciled it in everywhere that I can fit it in.
you discard this card, then try it, so you do. Can I activate my effect on this? Even though he did this one? Activate this card by turning one and negate the effects of the face-up monster on this. But can I play, if I activate the effect, I can get blue eyes, can I?
Nova says you can, which means Nova's still watching?
Hey, are you cheating?
I think I think Nova's helping. So
And then I get a blue eyes. Hooray!
okay,
Thank
we
you.
have other new people in chat, so I'm gonna do this for like the 5th day in a row or something. Why, when Kaiba summons this, and when
Anyone
Mokuba
tell
summons
us? He goes, good, good, good.
please, can anyone tell us why there's just trailing G's at the top of the screen?
I wish I could make more emotes because I want to make one that's just like go 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 go
Go, 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 go. Yeah, because look, it's an enigma. Like, is it him GGing us or? Yeah, Ghost Nova. Okay, so it's every character's boss monster, but why? What
Yeah,
does
why
it
go go
mean?
go 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 go?
It's probably a Japanese onomatopoeia, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Is it's like it's probably a thing that is like a Japanese-ism, but like I don't know it, and so it just looks it looks like Kaiba's trying to summon a thing and doing exactly what Dorkiness is doing. Where it's like go 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 go. It's like like I just picture Kaiba being a friggin' weirdo and just like making weird mouth sounds.
Infernity Archfiend lets me add a card to my hand.
Well, Yugi, if you think you've got this game in the bag, then there's just one thing left to show you. My blue eyes. Hey Kaiba, shouldn't you be saying something like blue eyes? Don't tell me how to play my games.
He's making metal guitar music with his mouth so he can feel cool. He is 16, so
Yeah, he's like headbanging and he just.
So I can use my mirage's effect.
Yeah, I'd buy it. He seems like, again, we have to remember, put everything in perspective, right? This is the same kid who decided to spend lots of money on making a Blue Eyes white jet in one of the movies.
you know, if you have a deck like this, like I can just imagine like these tournament decks taking forever. Like 2 people doing this, you know, where it's like I'm gonna sacrifice and bring these back and then do this and then that, and it's like you'd be there all day. Like,
Well, I imagine that for these decks, the greatest opponent probably isn't the actual opponent. It's probably that same timer that's been plaguing you, right?
yeah.
Their whole turn is like just summoning things and comboing and another thing and another thing.
I'm sure he had cards in his hand, but it would have been funny had I gotten Blue Eyes in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could have then summoned 2 Blue Eyes.
Kaiba is one very small step away from Beavis and Butthead rocking out on a couch. I can picture it now, like a Beavis and Butthead stylized Kaiba, and it makes me laugh.
Come out, Infernity Archfiend. The tuner monster, Infernity Beetle.
I was like, oh, we're gonna bring those 2 back again.
Infernity Archfiend.
And the
I mean,
turn that never ended.
We're gonna be here.
Wait. He's at a point where, Ghost Nova, just keep doing whatever you're doing. He's 9 cards away from losing.
Do you lose if you run out of cards?
Yeah, if you go to draw a card and can't draw one, you lose. Well, that's a cute dolphin.
Activate the continuous spell, Infernity Launcher. When my hand is empty, I can use my launcher.
I was gonna say, Nova, is that what you're doing for us? You're showing off your wombo combo and then you're gonna deck out to give Dorkiness the victory? No, that'd be too easy. You have to have some payoff for this turn that's lasted 5 minutes? Wait, how long have we been streaming? Okay, so it's been 3 hours and 50
It's just been his turn.
This turn has been the stream. That's not the point of bullying. Oh, really? The point of bullying isn't to lose? I mean, most of them do later in life, at least.
Is heading your way. Enjoy this for now. That was a satisfying duel.
Connection
say,
failed.
No! What happened?
The connection failed.
Oh no! No, the game objected. That's no fair.
Well, that's what you get for bullying people.
I was gonna say, wait. wait. I've got it. This is a teachable moment, chat. What we learned today is that ultimately, no matter how good bullying makes you feel, it's unsatisfying.
Right when I saw that, I was like, that is so
Konami says, please no bully. Valve, the Konami ban police stepped in. You did still win, Ghost Nova. No one's disputing your victory.
Yeah, just you did all that bullshit for nothing.
you got all the combos down. However, Konami didn't agree. The judge just ruled.
That was like really like that was poetic. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that couldn't have been any
man,
better.
that was,
oh my god,
that was elegant. I think it's even better because Co-Money. Yeah. You know how you could have gotten the victory, and I'm sure you're getting a pop-up right now, Ghost Nova, if you just spent more on cards.
I'm actually fuming because of that. It's so funny.
You probably broke a sweat with all that summoning and special summoning and
funny.
spell casting and oh man.
All right, Frost for King. Sure, we'll do one more. You spent over $1,000.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I can understand why you'd be a little annoyed when your like dream combo doesn't tee off properly. Yeah.
So
That'd be. Yeah. You might want to send a support email to Konami or Komani and be like, listen here.
If they
If I
get
spend money, it should work.
waffles in this, I'm telling you, Konami, I'll give you money.
All right. I'm gonna run to the washroom. I'll be right back.
Oh no. Okay.
My turn.
Oh, our sets look so pretty. Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Join me. I
That
summon
was
a
funny.
monster.
All right, Frost. This is gonna be fun. We got this. End turn.
I end my turn.
Are you willing to put in like $10 on this game?
I draw a card.
I'm holding out until they have fluffles. That's kind of what I want to spend money on if I were to
Here I go.
spend money on.
My
I
turn.
want fluffles.
I draw.
So, my connection's been bad. I don't know why. It's a little frustrating.
Fly in. Assault wyvern.
Alright. Should I have... Yeah, that was dumb. Okay, we're fine.
You'll see how much stronger I am than you.
Attack.
Get out of my sight.
Let's see what that card does. Let's not see what that card does.
Far from over. Slice and dice.
You can... The blue eyes mat versus the dark... Doesn't it actually look really cool?
Cannot afford to lose.
End turn. The blue
I'm back.
you can get a full budget blue eyes deck. They're never gonna do fluffles. I know, but a girl can dream, and that's when they'll get my
that's
money.
why we're eventually gonna get her onto Legacy of the Duelist, because Legacy of the Duelist does have fluffles,
I still believe in my cards.
What is Destiny
and it has all the
Draw?
rescue animals.
Oh my god, that's like my dream deck, and I know there's not like real cohesion there, but I want.
Full fluffle IRL, nice. Yeah, we were thinking about building dorkiness at like a real life fluffles deck, but the problem is that some of the pieces right now are just really
Oh,
expensive.
he's doing the Gaga Gigo deck stuff.
Nice. Ga 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 ga.
The Lady Gaga deck.
Summon a monster.
That's what it will be called from here on out.
Oh my god, no, stop. I feel like I lose if you put down a spell card, you just lose so much of your you lose so much of your time with denying.
Yeah, turning off like or just like
Because if you're not like
nope,
on the
don't wanna
draw, you
activate,
can
nope,
lose like
don't wanna
5
activate, nope.
seconds, right? Like holy,
Yep.
like it's just annoying.
Yeah, that's also one of the reasons why I like Legacy of the Duelist better, because it has
Seize, summon a
better
monster.
controller support. So like with my gamepad, I can just or my fight pad, I can just like hit B and it automatically it rejects it. I don't have to like click the back arrow or any of that stuff. I can just like boop B,
Ooh,
boop B.
Leviathan Dragon. Oh, that reminds me for my next for the bingo sheet I have to fuck right off.
You have to Ixie.
I have to fuck right off. I have to
You have to fuck right off. Get right out of here.
I want a fluff. I have Fluffle Dog, which is like the most important.
Because it's the cutest.
Yes.
And in real life, you got a rescue hamster too. So
Monster's effect activates.
that was a dark day when you realized that only one rescue animal was in this game.
Yeah, Rescue Rabbit. I
You
don't
were
want to
like,
waste
what about
the
rescue hamster?
and I don't want to waste the money getting Rescue Rabbit,
I
which
activate
sucks.
an equipped spell.
Guys, we're gonna die here. Stop!
Stop.
That's the end. Here I go.
Like I fucking got it. Come on, how are the cards? Blue eyes. Yes!
Well, you got a blue eyes out. That's good.
Yeah.
Fluffle Bear is the best card. Fluffle Bear's pretty cute.
I was like, it keeps freezing.
I flip over my
Yeah, we actually have a couple of Fluffle cards already. Ghost Nova. We just don't have like Fright for Kraken or Fright for Sabertooth, I think. And those were two of the ones that were a little bit on the pricier side as far as going to build the deck. But we've got a couple Fluffles in real life, so they got reprints. Oh, like cheaper, non-foily, super flashy reprints.
Oops.
Guys, I like the sound of that. That sounds like it's affordable. And I love me some affordability.
Oh no.
I have a real life aroma deck, and so getting dried winds was arduous.
I end my turn. I refuse to lose.
Tune chaos like 20
I could have
cents.
put that in
Cool.
defense. Oh well.
It's fine.
Yeah, the night's almost over.
Yeah, I was gonna say we are
I
winding
got my
down
first
now.
bits. It's so exciting.
I'll pay you back.
Thank you for
I was
that.
Yeah. Thanks for everyone who
I
sent
hope you
bits.
appreciated my bullying in return of your bullying, because that's the style we're going here.
That's I guess how we're doing this now. Saber and super rare. Kraken's only $4. Okay, so they're more agreeable now. Maybe we'll need to take another look at them because now that dorkiness is learning.
The issue is
yeah,
more shipping.
How much stronger I
yeah, the shipping cost on it on top of because I think Kraken was 10, but yeah.
That looks like a
Enough of your
nightmare.
tricks.
What the fuck is that link? Yeah, just like ugh.
Yeah, we were gonna ask, but we figured we'd let you react first.
Believe in my cards. I draw.
But yeah, we're winding down here, so I think Dorkiness will probably throw the link to the Discord in
Discord
chat
link.
before we go. The Discord is mostly for jibber jabbering with other people who are chatting in stream
Oh.
chat, coordinate playing and dual rooms and stuff like that when we're not on the air.
Also, we share the links we talked about. So Valteal posted the Billy Deal Williams commercial for Colt 45. We got a Star Wars digital pin table, and there's that gaming historian thing going on.
Yeah, the gaming historian video about Blockbuster and its brouhaha with Nintendo. So there's some content there. But
I could just
yeah.
let this end, but I don't feel like it. So we're just gonna end turn. Okay, I need to copy the link.
Budget Blue Eyes deck. If you're gonna buy the other 2 copies of the deck for $10. Yeah, I was gonna say there's the disc.
I don't have a beep boop set up to do these things, and I probably should. I don't know what I'm
We're
doing.
working on
I'm
it.
a new streamer.
In attack position.
Valteal, can you show me if the emote, if I did it right, does it work? Is it showing up for you?
Time is over.
I made an emote, and I attempted to, and I don't know how if it worked. Just if you're there.
As I say,
The invite is expired. I literally just copied it. It's not showing up
What?
right now. Damn it! Nothing's working.
curses.
Not again. It's not
But
whether you win
let's
or
see
lose.
here.
It's how you play the game.
Copy, 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 copy,
This
copy.
was a great duel.
Boop. That's the exact same one.
As I say, well, we do have.
You just got Leviathan Dragon. I told you to get it.
But she doesn't want Leviathan Dragon. But
Hey!
she doesn't want it. I was gonna say, I feel like that doesn't fit with the Luna Light theme.
Oh, you're right. They might have to approve the one I submitted, so it might not have been approved yet. I approved it.
Yeah,
I
well, we
sent
do
it
have
last
we do
time.
have emotes coming, and we're working on conceptualizing more. If you have ideas for emotes, you can throw them in.
I
The
did.
Discord
Tier
chat.
1 is. I can show you guys the emote I made in Discord. Open the Lunalight box for more Sage on Spirits. You mean the Judgment Day box? Is that the one? I'm not gonna open anything until I get 26 more gems. Because I have abruptly decided that is... Alright, wouldn't it be funny if that was... if I had just unlocked 25? Alright, 21 more gems, guys.
I was gonna say 21 more gems. We're moving for it. But yeah, we
You
do
know-
have. I think what you've got 2 emotes, right
Yeah,
now.
I made one for tier 1. That's the... Because you guys said to do the muted. And so I did muted for the tier 1 emote. And I'll put it in the Discord if I can figure out how to upload it. I know how to do things. Let's see. Do. I don't know what I'm doing. Put it in the Discord. Muted. Is this it? Upload. So yeah, muted. That's what it looks like in the Discord if y'all can see it. And I don't know what's happening. And then
Okay.
I was gonna do, and then for tier 2, I was gonna do me with Yu-Gi-Oh hair. And then tier 3, who knows? I don't think I was gonna subscribe tier 3 because that would be insane. So I have nothing to offer for like
But
$40.
we're working on rolling out things for as far as like emotes, and we're gonna try and decide on some stuff for
I'm
goals
literally playing
in the
around
near
with the
future.
content like with the creating things and the stuff you do, right? So it's all new to me. Anyway, we'll let you guys go because I need to eat, and it's 9:15 and I work.
LTL, thank you so much for
Yeah,
the stream.
thanks
It's
for
so much
coming
fun.
up.
Well, thank all of you for being here. Everyone, if you've been here since the beginning, you're a trooper and a champ, and you've gone through a whole bunch of different topics this evening. But if you're a new joiner or you came a little bit later on, you're just as welcome here, and we were happy to have you.
Tomorrow my plan is to stream at 6, assuming that my back doesn't hurt after work, because you guys know that sometimes my back hurts too much to do this. Because I still haven't got my chair. I will do that eventually, I swear. But yeah, the plan is hopefully tomorrow at 6 I will be online, and I think we'll start with opening some packs because I'll probably have the gems I want. And then we'll go back to, hopefully be able to properly do a Luna Lights deck, and then we'll have some rooms open and we can do some duels with each other. So yeah, that's tomorrow's plan. And Ramble might join in some duels. We'll see. Maybe me and Ramble will fight each other.
Could do.
We could do that. Yeah.
Anything's possible.
So the plan is tomorrow at 6 Eastern. We'll start, and I'll let you guys know if anything changes. But other than that, love you guys lots. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you tomorrow. Scrub plow.
All right. Take care, guys.